This is the M Zone.
And welcome to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler.
Can I get a Jaya?
Let's guy in the Bizzler. And you got Big Sweet himself, Larry Lee.
What's up? What's up?
It's good to see you guys. It's always good to see you guys. I missed you. I'm just going to tell the truth. I was out there. We did 2 weeks. Went out there to New York City, got a chance to go to the Statue of Liberty, go back to Central Park. They got a water park. My 5-year-old son, I can call him my 5-year-old son now because he had a birthday last Friday. So he's 5 years old.
Did he ride his bike?
Yes, did not take his bike with him, Larry. He already had a bike, but he got a chance. He got all kinds of gifts from his uncles and aunts and his cousins and everything like that. Big family reunion this past weekend was huge, and it started with CJ's birthday on Friday. Everybody came in the town and outside of Boston, and it was a great time. Great time. It's always, you know what? People always complain about their family. I don't want to go see them. I don't want to do no reunion. You know what? That was probably the best reunion we had. I'm not going to lie. For the Morris family, that was probably the best reunion. There was no arguments. There was nobody. My dad's 93 years of age. First of all, you got to be impressed with that. I mean, for all the things he's been through, he went to Vietnam, spent what? 8 tours in Vietnam and different things like that. And everybody goes, wow, 8 terms. Well, he said war pay is better than, peacetime pay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had 6 kids to eat. So he did what he had to do. So I'm very proud of that. And it's always good to see all of my three brothers, Joe, Larry, and Mike. It's always good to see my 2 sisters, Jerry and Wanda, and then see the offsprings. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's always good. And, got a chance to see Joe's daughter, her little daughter, and it was incredible. She's the youngest Morris that's in the family now, so it's always good. Had a great time. Had a chance to pay my respects to my mother's grave and different things like that. So, hey, look, I'm fresh, ready to go. Big Sweet. I'm ready to go, man. I'm fired up.
Man, nothing like family, man.
Exactly.
It wasn't that large, but my daughter, the one that works at Disney, she was in LA for an AKA conference. She's an AKA,
right.
and they teamed up with Disney, and she got a chance to go by and see my brother, her uncle, and I don't know if you remember Mark Nichols that played with the Lions, wide receiver. Well, Mark and I were like best friends, man. So she got to see Uncle Mark and Uncle George, and took her new baby there, her 4-month-old baby, and they called me from there. So that was like a mini family reunion out on the West Coast, and that was wonderful. I was telling my wife it was just good to know that they all got together out there. It's nothing like family.
It's awesome, Miz. I know you didn't do much vacationing because you filled in for anybody that left. So what did you do over the 2 weeks?
The week after, the week of the 4th, I did a whole lot of nothing here at the office because we just finished up with a big old summer promotion on the FM station next door. So I basically just tried to recuperate that week. I'm like, I need it bad. I was dehydrated and everything. The weather was not kind. We'll just put it that way.
Was it bad here, or was it what was it?
It was a lot of dodging of rain showers for events that were outside. I'm like, this is not going to be fun in the least.
Did we get the idol in? Was it?
They did.
They got it in. It wasn't raining. It didn't rain or anything.
It did in the beginning of it, but in terms of like the in terms of like the whole the overhaul of things, it was just one beforehand, and then everything just kind of cleared up. We kind of got lucky that Friday before the 4th.
Yeah.
But God, was it humid. I was sweating like a pig in the slaughterhouse, bros.
I was going to say the same thing. When it wasn't raining, it was hot and humid.
Oh, it was just atrocious. It was nasty, just everything. I'm like, I thought I was getting through it. Then you got these people that are trying to sing and they're just completely and utterly tired. There ain't no wind, it's just stagnant humid air. And I'm like, goodness,
Well,
can we just
I know when it's humid because I sweat brushing my teeth. So when it's humid, I know I'm wringing wet, man. I'm just a sweater. I sweat.
The only other thing that I did other than that, Jamie, was I had the sole fun responsibility of sending a boatload of tickets to a couple of shows in and around the Motor City. So that was honestly the majority of this past week, and filling in for Ira while him and the family were up in, well, your former neck of the woods, up in the Northeast, up in the New England area, up in Boston,
right?
Boston.
So we're in Boston.
So they're in Boston. They came. Ira was back in the air chair today, so that worked out quite well. So, that's basically all my entire time has been, just trying to keep myself out of trouble.
You sat around in Boston and used your clicker.
The clicker.
Park the car over Harvard Yard and wear the khakis. My khakis? What were you talking about? My pants? We're not the khakis. Not your khakis. Your khakis. Oh, the car keys. Oh, that's it.
Oh, yeah, man. I told y'all the story. My college roommate was from Lynn, Massachusetts.
Right, yeah.
And he had a deep voice like Barry White. So we could half understand him, you know. And we were like, Art, what is it? And I told you the story after practice one day. He was like, hey, coach, we got the shots. And the coach said, what? He said, yeah, coach, we got the shots. And he said, Coach Skips to Terry Donahue, you know, and you said, what are you talking about, Art? Yeah, shots, Coach. We got other shots. And he said, what? So he was saying, are we going to practice in shorts tomorrow? Not shots.
Shots.
And no one could understand it. No one.
I got my lobster roll, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself and everything. I got out there, did that.
Jamie, let me ask you when it comes to lobster roll stuff here, because I know, like, regionally in the Northeast, you've got parts that will use like almost like lobster salad, where it's like they mix it with
mayonnaise, right?
Or they go hot, they go cold, that being cold one, or they go hot lobster roll with it just like with a little bit of butter on it. Yeah. What is Jamie Morris's take on the lobster roll situation?
I like the hot
lobster
roll where they pour the butter in there. I know it's not good for us, but but mayonnaise is the same thing. I mean, that's not good for us either.
I mean, listen, it's gluttony and it's fine.
It
is.
I
mean, you're having what at one point people thought was just mud bugs and just the worst.
Exactly. Everybody didn't even like lobster, did.
Right. And then people found out, ooh, this stuff's good.
It's
and then
very good.
And they jack up the price on it.
Exactly.
You're like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? It's okay that we go ahead and get gluttonous and just put the fine butter on it. You don't skimp. You don't use that. I can't believe it's not. But no, you use that good butter.
The best butter there is.
I tell you what, man. I don't do the whole lobster, but ain't nothing like a good old lobster tail with some drawn butter, man. That's it. Yeah. That's it for me.
It is so good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's in my feels.
Let me say this. I don't eat lobster rolls anywhere else except for in Boston. If I'm gonna import some lobster rolls, I'm gonna get it from the place that I go to. They do send it to you, and they send you all the ingredients. They show you. They send the video on how to make it and everything like that. They send the nice hot dog bun, and they show you how to toast it perfectly. It is I mean, off the chain. So I'm just look. I know I'm drooling over this right now, but I'm just telling you that you go to vacation. That's what it's about. That's vacation right there.
Yeah, vacation is all about food.
Yes.
You ain't on a diet when you're on vacation. At that point, you're just like you're having a good time. You enjoying yourself is what you're doing.
Yes.
Don't mess around and go on one of them cruise ships for a vacation. They had like 6 meals a day and and midnight snack and I was like, oh God, don't go on a cruise if you're on a diet.
No, I mean you're gonna be off that diet soon. Quick.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, quick. It was just announced that My man, what's his name? Good God, what is his name? The quarterback. The quarterback was suspended.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves. And he got suspended because he was throwing extra benefits to his players.
Wow.
And he got suspended at Miami Northwest. And it is just, I mean, I guess, look, in the era of NIL, can you really suspend that man?
I was just, that was my thought. I was going to say, man, right now it's free for all. So what are you going to start implementing rules all of a sudden and make, is this the first case study?
I mean, there's no reason that Teddy Bridgewater should be suspended for high school paying for his players' Uber. That's what he was doing. He was paying
the impermissible benefits that Yahoo Sports, they're the ones that put the report out originally. Obviously, just showing the graphic on a stream, which we are streaming on the Big 1050 Facebook, the M Zones Facebook, and the Big 1050 YouTube channels. The impermissible benefits to his players that he covered included Uber rides. So I'm assuming to and from school.
But I mean,
pre-game meals, recovery help. So in terms of physical therapy, rehabilitation stuff, field paint, and more. So basically putting everything that he has made in his career back into the program.
Right. He's the coach. He's the coach of that team.
Right.
It's not that he's paying these kids. He's putting his money for their health care, for their care. I mean, he's not giving them money. He's trying to get them to practice. He's trying to make sure that they're taken care of from a health conscious standpoint. I mean, come on. Really? That's ticky-tacky to me. That's some ticky-tacky bull. And I'm going to open up with the NFL, top 10 NFL quarterbacks, but I had to go to this because when reading this, it just made me mad.
Does high school, how does high school work, Miz? Are they each state has its own set of rules, or is there like an NC2A kind of governing?
Yeah, I think Jamie's right. I think all 50 states, in terms of like their athletic departments, they have different guidelines that they follow, in terms of like the do's and don'ts. I'm not entirely sure how Florida's works out, obviously. Then again, I'm not entirely sure how Michigan's work out for the most part.
Michigan hasn't been instated yet, but they're coming. It's coming soon.
I know that it's always been like that. They always try to rework it out with the MHSA, the Michigan High School Athletic Association. So I don't know like what Florida's equivalent of their high school athletic association is like, in terms of like helping out students that, because they're not college students where like they're being
right.
Like before the age of NIL, when it came down to, if he's on scholarship or whatever, you can't help him out. You can't you can't buy him a burger. Yes, I brought Burgergate up again. You can't do this, that, or whatnot. But we could pay the coach, millions of dollars or whatnot. But
exactly.
But
I don't know the differences with the in terms of the the high school stuff.
Yeah,
all I know is he paid $14,000 out of his pocket for this training camp. He paid $9,500 for pregame meals. Recovery was $2,200 a week. Uber getting kids back and forth to practice was $700 a week, and field paint was $300 a week. I mean, really, is that scrupulous?
And Florida, well, not just Florida, but high school kids nowadays, with all these different things being cut off and taken away and all that kind of thing. I mean, who would argue with a coach that has the means to do that? Would do that. The man's been blessed.
Yes.
He's a former NFLer, got money. He stole a couple of years, here at the Lions, past few years,
Right.
and he's paying it back, or what do you call it? Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't understand that.
I think it's really a head scratcher at this point, because I mean it would be weird if he's doing this to like a small select handful of kids, but he's doing this for the entire team. He's doing this for his program as well. If he's putting the money out there to get lines, even if it's a practice facility, practice field lines or whatnot, it doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense.
You know what I bet?
Into the
What I bet?
Players.
I bet it comes from a competitor, a haterade.
Yeah.
I bet there's a.
Well, he won the state
school.
championship. He recently just won the state championship last year, right?
There's probably
other high schools that were competitive to this thing. They went to the Florida Athletic High School Council, whatever you call it, and complained and said that's an extra benefit that he's giving his players. Really, it's coming out of his pockets. It ain't your business.
Right. Plus, they're probably saying, well, we don't have the money to compete, so it's an unfair advantage that he has. He's a millionaire or whatever it is, and he can do that for his kids that we can't do for our kids. There's some hateration behind this somewhere.
Yeah. So the text lines are open too. If people want to text in at 734-998-1050. Joe from Livonia texting is, you're not allowed to give kids benefits and permissible benefits. That was the same situation that the Belleville coach ran into a few years ago.
No, Belleville coach was bringing Detroit kids to Belleville. That's what he was doing. But he was driving those kids from Belleville, taking them out of the D, and bringing them to play in Belleville.
Which is technically impermissible benefits.
I agree with you, but you went and got those kids.
Right. As far as getting the transport from Detroit back out to Belleville. Florida has the same thing, where they do have rules against impermissible benefits, including financial inducements, NIL agreements that violate the FHSAA rules. I'm not going to even try to go into that rabbit hole, because I'm not going to get out of it. Benefits disguised as academic recruitment. So the way Florida is, you never know that they could potentially just look at, they're putting lines on practice fields. That means he wants to get players to come play at his school. And it's one of the most gray area ticky-tack kind of things that you could have.
Now, Jamie, the Belleville quarterback at U of M is not a Detroit boy, is he?
No, he's out of Belleville. He's fresh out of Belleville.
Okay, all right, yeah.
No, it was other kids that he was coaching when he was an assistant coach at Cass Tech, and he brought some kids with him when he left Cass Tech to become the head coach at Belleville.
So they got some relatives in Belleville that use their address,
and you can use the address. They use the address where these kids were and everything like that. Look, if you try to better a kid and different things like that, I don't have that problem. But I guess it's unfair to move kids around, and I get that. And he got into a lot of trouble for it,
I think my thing with this is that, I mean, it sounded like he tried to reach out, tried to do the right thing in terms of reaching out to the community and asking for assistance that way before having
to raise money. He did
try to find ways to do it, but eventually at the end of the day, it just turned into the money wasn't really completely already there by donors or by charity donations, whatever it may be, that he just footed the rest of it. But I guess it's the whole Uber thing that I think a lot of people are going to look at side-eyed. He just said,
I'll pay for it my damn self. That's all he said.
That's all he said.
Yeah, if I got to do this, I got to get my players to practice. I'll pay for it my damn self.
Right.
Is his school inner city, in the hood?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's Miami Southeast or something like that.
Miami Northwest.
Okay. Northwest. Get my compass out. I want to go the other direction.
Okay.
It's okay. But I'm gonna say this: they got great athletes there. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they balled out. And what happened is Teddy went in there and organized these kids, got them organized. They have the talent, obviously. Okay, that's why he turned it around in 1 year. Okay,
Right.
he did a Tyrone Wheatley, what Wheatley did to his school. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
So that being said, but you're gonna get criticized, like you said, Larry. There's haterade out there. Because you beat us. Now we got to stop this. We can't have you coming in here paying your way. You using your own money. No, that's not fair. Why not? Why isn't it fair? If he's not asking for money back and he's trying to raise money, he's donating his money.
And he's forthright with where it came from and how much he gave to whom, where. Yeah,
he got every dollar, every cent that he paid. He knows where that money went.
Yeah. I see nothing wrong with that, man. Actually, it's needed nowadays, But there's got to be hateration going on where the other coaches who cannot afford to do that for their players are saying, "Wow, man, he's an ex NFLer. He's got money and I can't compete with that." So, yeah. Well, he's helping his kids. They won. God bless them.
It's a shame. It's just a shame because you're helping these young inner city kids out and taking care of them, and he's doing it himself. And I get that people say, "Well, we don't have that capability." Well, you're down there. Try to raise funds. Do a car wash. Do something. I mean, you know what you need to do. You got to raise money too.
And that's the sign of the times. That's the name of the game. It's not like it used to be where all you had to do was coach. Right now you got to think outside the box on any sports program to compete and become better because times aren't the same. So the innovative coaches, the ones that think outside the box, color outside the lines, whatever you want to call it. Man, that seems to be the way you have to do it nowadays. You can't just status quo anymore.
It's just that just bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it bothers me, and maybe I'm too old school and different things like that. And
well, if you old school, what that make me?
I get it.
The OOG. We
OOG.
The OOG.
Right. But I remember I'm one of those kids. I was going into my junior year when they pulled, and this happened in Massachusetts, when they pulled the funds after school buses. So how you gonna get kids home and different things like that? I walked my butt home. I walked. After practice, I just took off, went in the woods, and just got home. I knew how to get home. That's what our players did. Then we guys that could drive, they drove us. Guys that could ride your bike, you rode your bike. You did what you had to do. This is when your coach told you, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? And I get it. Yeah. So, if a coach is helping out, I know my high school coach, he helped us out. He would drive that bus himself.
I was blessed, man. I was there's an inside joke about me with all of my folks I grew up with back in Dayton. My dad was an auto mechanic. So my dad had his own garage and body shop. I had a car in 8th grade. I didn't have, not now licensed or anything, but I had a car. So in 8th grade, I'm parking my car in the teacher's lot next to the teacher.
Oh my God.
You and everything.
Tell the story, man. They're gonna come get you, man. The city of Dayton, the Dayton police been waiting to hear that. Confession is not a good thing.
So if you talk to any of my homeboys I went to high school with, they say, "Oh man, Larry was different. Larry had a car in 8th grade, man, and Larry was driving around, and I was the transportation for a lot of us, and I drove." My dad had this theory that he wanted to make sure all of us knew how to drive because he. There's times he had to pull a car or tow a car. He wanted all us to be able to help him and that kind of thing. So that was one of the little family traits of mine, of ours, where our dad taught us how to drive when we were very young. and allowed us to drive very young. Now, once again, fortunately I didn't get in any accidents or get any tickets or anything because I had no license. But that was a Charles Lee scenario. He taught us all how to drive when we were kids.
That's great. Look, and you got away with it. That's cooler than the cool.
We did.
Hey, it helped out, right? It got you and your teammates from point A to point B, right?
Yeah, it helped him too. Like if he had to go pick up a car from someone, and he taught us how to pull a chain and how the back car needed to, was the brake for the front car, and taught us how to keep the chain tight between the two cars. And he taught us all that, man. So it was to his benefit as well. Because when he couldn't find an employee or someone to help him do that, guess who he called? One of us. Right. And we helped him do it. Yeah.
This smells of haterade to me. I'm just saying. That's haterade. Just saying. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this top 10 quarterbacks. Top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. We'll see if you agree. I mean, I don't agree with any of it. I'm just saying. Look, I had this talk. We'll get to that on the other side. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050. That if Josh Allen wins the MVP, right?
Right.
Lamar wins the player. I mean, he won the player of the year, right? Right. Usually the MVP wins the player of the year, right?
Right.
They broke it in half.
That was the whole thing that we kind of griped about
right.
when the awards came out. Is
right.
That, we know that the MVP, unless someone has a breakout year,
right,
is going to go to the top, quarterback of the league.
Agreed.
And then the offensive player goes to the next best offensive player.
Yeah.
Which, that ended up being Saquon this year. So, I mean, I think
I get it. I get that.
Yeah.
And Saquon should have been that player.
Mm-hmm.
He's the non-quarterback guy who performed above and beyond.
Exactly.
Okay? I get that. And that's fine. But when it comes to quarterbacks, Joe Burrows cannot be justified as the one of the top. I say he's the top 5 quarterback. I'll agree with that. I watched that. I told you I watched that quarterback. I did do stuff on vacation. I watched that whole series on Netflix of the 3 quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrows, and what's the other guy? Jared Goff. This was excellent. They did a great job. Jared Goff is a good guy. You know what? I actually like Jared Goff now. I think he's a cool dude, man.
As you should. You should start chanting his name at sporting events.
Jared Goff. Jared Goff.
I don't think look. He's a game manager. Okay, he's a game manager. That's what he is. Who's got receivers that can get downfield. He don't make those throws all the time. Now, Matthew Stafford can make those throws. And yes, that's blasphemy. That was blasphemy, and I did it. I said it. That's right.
You said it.
But Matthew Stafford didn't have that offensive line that Jared Goff has when he was here.
I see a couple discrepancies on the top 10.
Right.
No, Joe Burrow. Come on, man.
I love Joe Burrow. I think
Lamar.
I love him. Mm-hmm. But the Cincinnati Bengals, that's their own fault. They don't pay no money. They don't pay me no money.
Well, they do. It's just they pay the receivers and they don't want to try to bolster that.
They don't even want to pay them.
Yeah, they don't want to protect the offense. They don't want to get an offensive lineman to protect Joey B.
Joey B. He almost crushed he was saying he hurt his neck and everything, and he thought he broke his neck in that last game. I'm like, wow.
They got Justin Herbert ahead of Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts.
Justin Herbert should not be in the top 10. I'm just going to say that right now.
I agree. That's bad. That's bad. Let's see. I'm looking at the I would take Joe out of the number 3, definitely. Put him about 7 or 8 or something. But,
I mean, I agree that he did a great job with that team, and the way he's playing, he's running around for his life. But hey, you ain't winning games, Joe.
I like to know what the credentials are as well, because is it just pure passing, or is it the arm? Is it the leadership qualities?
It's all the above. It's all the
all
above.
of the above, right?
Yes.
So I found the article that was written in ESPN. I mean, we Jamie sent it over through Bleacher Report, but it was something that Jeremy Fowler from ESPN put up. And,
Okay.
This was voted on by executives, coaches, and NFL scouts
Anonymously.
Yeah, because
of course nobody wants to say I said this. I said this. That's right. It's my name. Put it down. Write it.
No, that don't happen a lot anymore. No, that's media. That's.
I'm just saying, man. Step up and step out.
All right, we're coming back from break here in a moment, guys.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler. And we got Big Sweet in the house, Larry Lee. Larry, now let me ask you this question. Was the transition for you, when you made that transition from being a player to going into the decision making, was that tough to do?
No and yes. I tell you what I mean by that. No, because we played the game. We know how to look at film and tell who can play or who cannot play. So that part of it was not hard for me. Now, the problem that was hard for me was 2 things. One is not being cocky and listening to all these non-people that never played the game have various opinions, strong opinions and decisive making opinions. And I was trying not to be cocky, but I was just thinking my perception is a lot deeper than theirs. And so it's the intangibles. It's the other part that was hard. Grading talent and judging talent was not hard. It was understanding, how it all intertwines. And, I think we had this argument or the debate. I was telling you about arguments I used to have with some of the beat writers,
right,
about their grades, how they're going to give grades at the end of a game, and he had a C+ game or he had a B. How can you grade me when you never played the game, or you don't know my assignments, you don't know what I was, obligated to do versus not do, but then you give me a grade, and then that's what the fans perceive. And I'm just throwing out names. I'm not necessarily saying, but Mike O'Hara says, Barry Sanders had a B+ game because he only had 99 yards. You don't know if the game plan was not suitable for Barry to get his yards. You don't know, what circumstance, intangibles. And so going back to the original question, grading talent and judging talent, no problem. Now, the other issue I had was I was a pro guy all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I could watch a pro film and tell you if a guy can play or not, if he's worth a darn or not on the pro level. But to try to look at college and add the estimation of, okay, is he going to make it at the next level? Can he make it at the next level? Okay, his size and his speed and everything says he can, but what I'm seeing on film says he can't. But, or the opposite, what I'm seeing on film, this dude is a player, man.
Right.
Do I take him in the 3rd round and the 5th round? And, do I take him in the 1st round? Those those are the intangibles that were harder for me because I was a pro guy. Right. I was more involved, and the Lions. I told them that, and so I was involved with our college drafting and everything, but I was more involved in our free agency because I could look at pros and tell if a guy how many years he's been in the league and whether he's playing or not, and maybe I would look at preseason games to see who would get cut and that kind of thing, and kind of guess if we wanted to claim a guy off waivers and that kind of thing. So, I'm a pro guy. I'm a pro guy, and I learned to be a college guy. But, in the pro thing is cut or dry. Jamie, you can look at a film tomorrow and tell if a guy is worth his salt or not, So right. I know that was a long answer to your question, but no, that was my prowess or my deal. Yeah.
And I get it. Look, there's all kinds of lists that are going to come out now before the season starts in the NFL, in college football, and we're going to address some of the college football greatest rivalries. I mean, we're going to address that. But right now, we're doing the best, the top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now. Now, from what I got from ESPN, and it's according to executives / coaches / scouts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way they did it is they anonymously asked voters to give their best 10 players at every position. ESPN has been doing this since early last week. Right. They did running backs. Today they're at quarterbacks. Tomorrow they're going to do off-ball linebackers or outside linebackers, however you want to call it, wide receivers on Wednesday, and then Thursday.
The running backs. I want to talk running backs too. I love talking running. And the guy do offensive linemen too,
of course. But what they did is they took the most that had like the top votes and just kind of graded it down from there, from top to bottom at that point. And this was a list compiled during the off season, and apparently this is the 6th edition of these rankings. So,
okay, here's my first problem with this.
Would you like me to reveal the list here?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes.
So if everyone's watching on stream, I put the graphic up there. Let me do one of these things right here and get rid of that banner so people can see. At number 10 is Tampa Bay Buccaneer Baker Mayfield, who was doing shotgunning of beers earlier this week at a golf outing.
And trying to blow off some steam, man.
He just woke up. He felt dangerous. I don't blame him, man.
I get it.
At number 9, this one I think seems a little too low in my opinion, but that's just my opinion, though.
Absolutely.
The Super Bowl champion in Jalen Hurts.
I agree with that. Jalen Hurts, he went to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both those Super Bowls. I'm just saying. He outplayed him in both Super Bowls. And you talk about somebody who's improved as a quarterback. I mean, they took him in the 2nd round. I get it. And everything like that, he got the starting job. And when he had it, he ain't giving it up. He ain't giving it back. And he's that.
Also, as you said, it takes into account not just his arm strength and all that, his leadership qualities. That man's a leader.
Oh, God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That man is a leader.
Yep. At number 8, the Detroit Lions quarterback, Jared Goff.
I think he's low.
Mm-hmm. At number 7, I think this one is a little too high. And maybe he doubles in that off the field. Who knows? It's number 7. It's the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert.
He's only had 1 year with his coach.
Exactly.
He's ahead of Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
I agree with that. At number 6, the former Detroit Lion quarterback, now Los Angeles Ram, Matthew Stafford.
I'm okay where he's positioned at. I can see him at 5 or 6 because he's an old dude, but he's still getting it done at a high level. He's getting it done. You see all those teams that wanted him free agency wise.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of teams that are willing to make trades that get him to come to their place. But he stuck through with his boy Sean McVay.
Yeah.
At number 5 is the the last year's offensive rookie of the year and a guy that just threw all over the field at Ford Field in the playoff game. That would be one Mr. Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders.
No hate for that young man, but it's too soon to put him in the list. It's too soon. I mean,
too soon to put him on the list.
Well, my thing is, he had 1 year. You got that litmus test of him, Big Sweet, and I mean, he had a great year, but 2 years and then put him on the list. Tell me what he can do. I mean, C.J. Strauss had an incredible rookie season, right? And then he fell back to earth just a little bit more. You don't see his name being mentioned now, but last year he was on that list.
Okay, I hear you, Jamie. I hear that's valid. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think when Jamie had brought this up to me, before we came on, I kind of looked at it and went, I want to see if it wasn't just a rookie fluke kind of thing. I want to see how his sophomore season goes, and if he can come close to what he did in his rookie year, in his second year in the NFL, then I'd say 5, I think, is a good spot for him. Who knows? Maybe he can build himself higher than that.
And Big Sweet, just to echo what you said, once they got film on you, now let's see where he can go. Now they got film on him now. And now they gonna watch all the film on him. How he acts during third and long, how he acts second and short, all of those things. Now they're charting the hell out of him.
Yeah. I see your point. At first I said, okay, the young man had a great season. That makes sense. But what you're saying, it is making sense to me. That's 1 year, but let's see.
I will say this, Chicago Bears fans, you better make sure your DBs are ready because they do play the Bears again this year. So make sure your guy ain't just in the background trying to act a fool. At number 4, multi-time MVP, just waiting to get over the hump, and I think he's getting closer. It seems like every single year. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson.
Now,
go ahead, Jamie. We both chimed in on that one quick.
I'm just gonna say this: there's nobody closer to Patrick Mahomes than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, and I'm gonna give you. Josh Allen played his butt off. He was Superman last year. He came into Detroit. He did something a lot outside of Jaden Daniels. Okay, I'm giving you the rookie came in here and did the same damn thing. Okay, I get it, but that was a hurt Detroit defense. This man destroyed the Detroit Lions in their house and just took them apart. I'm just gonna say this: Lamar Jackson, he could either be he could be the top. He could be in that. He could be 2. He could be 3, and he could be 4 if you want. But Joe Burrows did not make the playoffs this year. As good as he played, he just won enough games to, be in the running for. I mean, as well as I do. If you don't win as an NFL quarterback, you ain't gonna win nothing.
That's why, at 4. With Joe Burrow at 3, you could argue that, the back and forth between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, that's a debate. And here lately, this past season, Josh Allen did, kind of supersede. So I'm not saying he could go easily at 2. I can live for right now with Josh Allen at 2, but I cannot live with Joe Burrow being ranked ahead of Lamar Jackson. No way.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, as you mentioned, Big Sweet coming in at number 3 on the list. At number 2, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, the reigning MVP. And again, I think he's on the same precipice or on the same line as Lamar, just always a bridesmaid, but not the bride at this point kind of thing.
They play each other. These two are going to play each other every year. I'm just telling you. In the playoffs, it'll be in the playoffs. It'll be in a regular game. These two, and usually the winner's going to play the champ. You know who it is too. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And that's number 1 on the list.
I mean,
I don't think any of us are questioning nothing, right?
Until somebody beats Patrick Mahomes on a regular basis. I mean, I don't like flukes. I mean, Lamar had him. The guy had a foot out, right? Lamar had him. He had a shot. I mean, I'm just saying.
A couple of honorable mentions that they had on this list were one of them was a guy you just mentioned, Jamie, C.J. Stroud of the Texans, and a guy that honestly I thought could have cracked the top 10, Jordan Love out of Green Bay.
Jordan's not ready.
You know what? I'd put Stroud ahead or before I'd put Justin Herbert on there.
I agree with that.
Because he's young. And his second, that rookie year was sensational, but he came up and backed it up. He backed it up.
Yeah. So is there some hardball voodoo going on there or something, Jamie, we don't know about?
All I'm saying is Harbaugh got him organized, and like everybody loves him. Everybody, hey, Chargers did win. They started winning games again. They're going to run the ball on you, and you're going to try to stop the run, and he's got to throw the ball. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, honorable mention. I don't even. I mean, Dak Prescott. He didn't play enough games. I mean, what's the other guy?
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
The number one game manager.
Yeah.
We're going to see how
he's won some games
this year, because he lost a lot of weapons.
And he's got another disgruntled wide receiver.
Exactly. He lost a lot of weapons, and he's got disgruntled teammates. And, like I said, Big Sweet, I said this to Miz a while ago. Brock Purdy, he didn't need to make all that. He could have got $45 million. I don't think he would have shunned away from it either.
Right.
But I guess he decided. I guess the 49ers said we're gonna give him first round money.
Yeah. There's something to that. We use your boy Tom Brady as an example. Tom was smart enough to not take all the money which he could have gotten. But he said, "Hey, I want you to be able to play some team guys around me,
right?
And I don't have to have all the money." And that seems to be what Brock Purdy is and the 49ers are trying to do out there. And if you can find players today that fit that adage, man, go for it. But nowadays, it's a different breed.
They want
all the money. And especially the receivers, man, they're the most diva-ish position there is, man, and all about their brand and all about their money and this and that and this. So, if you could humbly get them to understand team concept, and that's I say this all the time. That's the plight of a coach nowadays. It's not necessarily X's and O's. It's all about trying to get guys to buy into one system. And when they do, they win. And, so do you want all the money or do you want to buy into this system? And that's kind of the challenge that front office people have these days, so trying to manage them egos and everything.
Right. You said it right, though. Do you want all the money or do you want to help the team and get players around you that can play defensive players?
9 out of 10 will want the money.
And I'm going to ask, is that being selfish or get paid? I'm just saying. I mean, Tom Brady was an unusual young man because he decided that in his mind that use money to bring other players. You don't have to bring young players. You bring veterans in here that still have a couple years and will win.
Which goes back to the question: how much is enough?
Right.
How much do you if you're making several, let's just use Mahomes as an example. If I'm correct, I think his last contract he's doing about $45 million a year.
Yep.
How much more than $45 million a year do you need?
Well, it signifies status, though. It signifies that
Yeah.
I'm the best quarterback in the league, so I should be paid the highest amount of money. You know as well as I do.
I know.
I mean, that's what they want because it's status. And I've been saying this for years. The NFL's got to separate the quarterbacks out of the other players because it's killing the payroll. That's what it's doing. You're paying these quarterbacks so much money, and it takes away from the rich gets richer here.
But the other thing is supply and demand, Jamie. I use this example. There's 32 teams.
Yep.
You need 3 quarterbacks to fill the league. That's 96 quarterbacks. There are not 96 NFL caliber quarterbacks on the earth. No. So the 9, 10, 5, 6, like we're arguing now, those 10 that can play, they're supply and demand. They're getting all that's due to them and more. And because the league has to keep a certain amount of guys upright. If Mahomes goes down in a season, Mahomes and Allen go down in the same season, what's the NFL going to bank on then?
Lamar Jackson.
So they have to keep those guys upright.
Right.
That's why you can't breathe on them. Defensive linemen touch him. Roughing the passer. They're trying to keep them alive because the quarterback position is the one that has been hurt more than any other position because of expansion and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, look, I get the whole protecting the quarterback. I get that. If you get a good one, you need to keep him straight up. Like you said, you got to keep him walking. You got to keep him doing the things he's supposed to do. Again, my whole thing goes back to Cincinnati. What are they doing? I mean, I don't want to use the adage. That's a bunch of truck drivers up there blocking. I mean, we don't have all pros up there blocking for Joe Barrows. I mean, come on.
But even better, if you can find one of those guys that can take you to the promised land as a rookie, i.e. Russell Wilson,
right?
And the Seahawks, i.e. Mahomes, and not as a rookie, but a youngster under a rookie contract,
right? Yeah.
Kansas City and Mahomes. There was another one or two that young guy took the teams to the Super Bowl, and that's the key to the game, man. Try to find that quarterback under his rookie contract before he starts really making the money, because when he makes the money, then you got a whole different mindset financially.
Well, yeah, first team the first side of the ball that gets decimated is the defense. They take from the defense. That's exactly what they do. Highest paid player is out. I mean, as soon as that quarterback is allowed to get that big money, they're taken apart. AKA the 49ers tore that team apart. They took that team apart. Got rid of a lot of players because they knew what they had to do with Purdy. Yeah,
that's so. We go back to what we were saying earlier. If you got a even keel minded quarterback, well, a lot of times too, it's a 2-part equation. Not just the player, it's the agent as well.
Right.
The agent, and a lot of times players forget that agents work for them. So they just listen to the agent and pumping their head up and, hey, we need to get this certain amount. You need to make more than this guy because you're better than this guy and that kind of thing. And then lastly, when those agents get to talking, if you notice, when we start getting really into depth on contracts and everything, in the business, there's a term we used called blue sky.
Yeah.
And the first part of the deal is on par or significant to whatever is going on around the league. But those last several years of a deal, just blue sky for the agent to go around and say, that, hey, we got the highest deal ever for my client, and da 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 da. But you know what? You'll never see the end of that deal, because some point in time along the way, if their client does well, they're going to come at you and say, hey, we need to re up. Now, if their client doesn't fill the bill and doesn't do what he needs to do, the team should go to him and say, hey, we need to reevaluate and take it down. So you never see the end of that deal. And the end of the deal in the business is what they call blue sky. And, the blue sky is mainly for the agents to walk around and say, hey, I got the biggest deal ever for a quarterback, or I got the biggest deal in the league, that kind of thing.
No, I think, look, agents want to be well known too. If you get the biggest deal, you're well known. That means he can attract other quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can tell other players, I've gotten the biggest deal for Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. I mean, look, I get it. Yeah. I just, from an economical standpoint and the benefit, because I was telling Miz, I watched that. I'm going to give some things away. I watched that quarterback thing, and Kirk Cousins was playing good last year at one time. Then he played Miz's team, the New Orleans Saints, and Cam came around and crushed him, crushed that shoulder and that elbow, and he was never the same.
You like that.
Exactly. But he was hurt. Big Sweetie couldn't get the ball he was throwing interceptions after interception after interception.
Well, that's a great example, because over the years, and not hating or anything, that man has
he's made
money. He's capitalized more than any other quarterback in the history of the league. Guaranteed money. Where was he?
He started at the Commanders.
Guaranteed money. Then he went to the Vikings.
Yes.
Guaranteed money. Then he went to the Falcons.
Guaranteed money.
And he was the first deal, if I remember correctly, where he was the first one to get, 100% guaranteed contract.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember, where was he? At the Vikings, I believe. And at the time, man, my good buddy who I love, man, is Rick Spielman, did the deal. And I was saying to myself in the background, like, Rick, what are you doing, man? But that's my buddy, that's my boy, Rick, and we worked together at the Lions, and I think very highly of Rick. But when he gave Cousins that 100% guaranteed deal, I was saying, Rick, man, oh my God, did you get that right? But we can always second guess.
He really wanted that player. He wanted that quarterback. He thought that quarterback was the right quarterback.
Yeah, and que sera, sera. And so I just remember saying that to myself, and armchair quarterback. I wasn't involved in the league at that time.
This is the last question, Miz, before we go to a break. But do you keep him around, or do you if you're Atlanta, do you keep him around in case Pennant? I mean, he may have that second season slump. You know what I'm saying? Or do you get rid of him and take the loss? You're going to pay half. You got to pay some significant money to get rid of him, where it costs less to the team that you're trading him to.
It depends on where they think their talent level is right now, and what cap hit what's the significance of their cap hit. They're going to have to balance that out to say, well, can we take a hit, a substantial hit, whatever the dollar amount is, and still do without them and take that hit? Or do we need, like you're saying, do we keep him around as an insurance policy? And because we're already, paying him this amount, and we're used to paying that amount. And now we got the young boys, and he's still under a rookie contract. So
that's your rookie contract.
Those are the kind of decisions that the Falcons would have to make, or are making, or have made.
Well, we'll figure that out later on. We got to go to a break. We come back. Greatest rivalries now times. Not back in the old days. I'm talking about now time. It was in? Did we get it right?
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything. Being 14 is pretty damn good, but you ain't in the top 10. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay. Yes, sir. And you know what? We'll give it away, but I agree.
We got to go to a break, but we'll come right back. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Clear on the radio.
All right.
Did they get it right? Michigan, Ohio State, the best rivalry?
I say yes right now. Yeah. I think so.
Or it's recently the best rivalry, right?
Right.
Because it came back. Hey, for 10 years, Michigan was getting their butts kicked. What were we? 9-1, Miz? I mean, 1-9?
Yeah, I think so.
My God. I gotta bring that up. I gotta bring that up and say that.
So what's your advantage now? Was it past 3 years or something?
Yeah, it became over the next 4 years. The past 4 years, it's been the greatest rivalry. I mean, that first game, that 2021 game, that was a war. That was a war. Yeah. And you like went, now this is what it's supposed to be. We all said that.
Right. Well, speaking of which, speaking of which, I got Keith Byers and Pepper Johnson ready to come on at any time.
That'll be excellent. You let me know when. We could do that. We could do that this week if you want. Just call them up.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Pepper called me yesterday.
There you go, Miz. That's it. There you go, Miz.
So it's not the one you're thinking of because it showed the
one
that
that's
I found
not it.
Was USC UCLA at 13, but it's still in that middle.
Yeah, that's the one I want. The one they got them at 13. Yeah, show that one.
Yeah, I know you want that one. I know that's what you want.
You got one to show them about 7 or 8, somewhere around that. No.
I couldn't go up that high. No, I couldn't put the arms on that.
You ain't getting that, dude.
I agree because it's not the same no more. That rivalry's not. We had that argument over the weekend. Speaking of which, man, if you don't mind, I'd like to show a little love for my boy Louis Sharp, who died over the weekend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's do it when we come back on the air.
Louis and I were, growing teammates, and not only that, but I have to tell you the story one day. He had his demons, and he turned his life around, and I, between you and I played a big part in that. I don't tell that part of the story, but yeah, I like to show him some love if we can.
Absolutely. I do that. I think let's do that right when we come back, when we open up the next segment.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be back. Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, people that are watching on stream, we will be right back.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler. You got Larry Lee, Big Sweet himself, sweeter than a honey bear in the woods. That being said, Honorable Pest Control annual subscription plans, make sure you get them. Their comprehensive programs protect your home inside and out from foundation to peak 4 times a year. Plus, they cover any unexpected pest issues between treatment. It's like having pest insurance for your home. Honorable Pest Control, call them today at 734-436-3017. That's 734-436-3017. Or just go to honorablepestcontrol.com.
Before we get back into the convo, I know Big Sweet wanted to give a tip of the cap to a good friend, and I figured getting it. Well, let's do it on the air at the very least.
Yeah, let's do that.
So,
yes, sir, man. Over the weekend, Detroit, UCLA, NFL, we lost a dear brother, man, Louis Sharp.
Yeah,
Louis Sharp. I recruited out of Detroit to go to UCLA. I was a sophomore. We was a freshman. We both started on the offensive line the next 3 years together, and he went on to a 13-year NFL career, 3 Pro Bowls with the Arizona Cardinals. And, Detroit, we took a loss big time with Louis, and the Cardinals organization have sent some love out. So I just wanted to give a shout out for my boy Louis Sharp. It's well documented. He had some demons, but he overcame. Yes, he overcame his demons and was clean and sober for the last 8 years, and there was no relapse or nothing going on as people were trying to dig and find out. He just had a heart attack, man. He had a spa day with his mom, and after the spa thing, they went to lunch at Red Lobster, and he just keeled over and died at Red Lobster.
Oh,
and so
God.
that's my man, my boy. I love him dearly, like a brother. We've been together for a long time, and I'm just asked all of you to send up your prayers for the Sharp family.
Best offensive lineman to ever come out of. Now, this is what I'm being told. Best offensive lineman coming out of the state of Michigan. Excuse me, the city of Detroit, they've said. I mean, he's one of those. Reggie McKenzie's one of those too. But they did say that Lewis was one of the best offensive linemen to come out of the city of Detroit.
Southwestern High School, and as I defected, leaving Ohio to go to UCLA, I got Louis to defect Michigan, and
I can't believe you did that.
And come out to UCLA.
I'm a son of a gun.
It'll be the one time we'll say, "How dare you?"
yeah. And like I said, Louis was a great player. We went after his playing days. He had a few demons, but just in fine fashion, he overcame them and everything. So he and his daughter had started going around the NFL, doing a lot of podcasts and shows dealing with substance abuse and turning around, et cetera. He's done that. So I'm on a mission to help. He's not in the Cardinals Ring of Honor, so I'm on a mission to begin that process. Got a call into the Cardinals, and anyone that can hear this broadcast and or have something to say, let's get Louis Sharp in the Hall of in their Ring of Honor for the Arizona Cardinals.
Here. Yeah, we need to.
Yes,
he is one of the best offensive linemen.
Thank you guys for allowing me to do that.
No. Hey, you're right about that. That young man, he should be pointed out.
Yeah. That was my brother from another, and his wife called me immediately Friday, like an hour after it happened, and boy, the tears flowed, and and we cried and everything. But then, secondly, I got to thinking about his transformation and what he has done for his life and turned it around. Then I started feeling okay. I said, you know what, Louis all right. He's in the right place. Yep. So all is well.
Well, we're talking about greatest rivalries currently. I say currently, and there's a lot of things there that when I say currently, I mean I'm not gonna. I mean it does the heart good that Michigan Ohio State has been recognized as the best rivalry in college football.
As it should.
But I said this. It wasn't 4 years ago.
No, you're very right. It was very one-sided in the 20 teens. Obviously with only one victory, and even then I still kind of I as a fan, I still don't even look at that victory as like it doesn't rub me right, because this was the same year that the NCAA or that Ohio State got rid of Jim Tressel and all of the sanctions that came down with Ohio State. It's like this isn't an Ohio State team, man. This isn't like the Ohio State that I think we were expecting to come roll into Ann Arbor and all this stuff like that. And of course, after that came a bunch of games that a lot of people we really don't want to remember.
No, you don't remember. We have short memories. Big Sweet, we got short memories as Michigan. Michigan fans.
Boy, do I know.
I mean, we don't remember all of those losses that we took on the chin and everything. I mean, we're braggadocious about being the first athletic program to win 1,000 games.
I got a fellow co-worker from back in the day, and you know the story, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
He and I used to go back and forth about Michigan. When Michigan did something good, couldn't shut him up. But when Michigan did something bad, boy, he couldn't remember nothing. Selective memory, man. So I used to get so mad at him. Oh my God. I'm not even gonna mention the name. Should I mention the name? No, I'm not.
No, don't mention no names. We ain't throwing anything.
All right.
Yeah, let's not throw the heat. Not yet.
All right, okay. All right. I won't.
Just yet. But I mentioned that Michigan and Ohio State were number one. Number two. Again, for grabs. I mean, this is yours, Miz, and I see it.
Yeah. This isn't the list that you had told me about. This was the closest I could come up with it, because every other list that I had seen did not list Big Sweet's alma mater with USC. So I had to make sure, listen, let's find something that's close to it, because I think the list that you had said, that they were 14.
Yeah, they got them at 14.
Well, on this one, they got them at 13. So we had to give a little more love. So
okay, that's fine. On this list, the number 2 team in this one is Auburn, Alabama.
Okay. It's 3 on this one.
And that list that you have is up there has Texas, Oklahoma.
The Red River Shootout.
So Big Sweet.
Red River Rivalry.
Red River Rivalry. Not a shootout anymore. We can't. I got to ask you, Alabama, Auburn at number 2 or Texas, Oklahoma?
Oh, you know what? I say Alabama, Auburn, number 2. Well, Alabama struggled this year.
Well this year. I mean, these past couple years. That's why I give Texas, Oklahoma, because that's a shootout.
You know what? I agree. Let's put Texas, Oklahoma 2 in my book, then Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah, because I feel like right now that Texas Oklahoma rivalry, everything is swinging in Texas's way right now. Oklahoma's trying to get themselves in a right direction. They're trying to adjust themselves after Lincoln Riley left a couple of years ago, and you got Brent Venables as the coach at Oklahoma. Meanwhile, you've got Sark, who is just right now the dominant team of the SEC. and they're just continually just adding on to things where, they're, possibly preseason number one, depending on how the AP poll does it in about a month or so.
All I'm going to say is, did anybody expect Texas to come into the SEC and win the SEC?
No.
Anybody? I mean, look, I didn't expect Texas to do that.
No, I wasn't expecting Texas to have such a dominant season, get all the way to the national title game,
right,
and eventually lose. But I was not expecting them in year one of the SEC, because I think a lot of people looked at Texas and went, "You're leaving if you want to really grade it, the Big 12 is a cupcake compared to the SEC. You're leaving a cupcake conference to come to play with the big dogs. You come to play with the big boys in the SEC because it means more." As they say down.
I read that article.
I mean, I've got my feelings on Greg Sankey. Apparently, SEC days are currently underway wherever the hell they're doing it at right now. I think down in Atlanta.
Sounds like Greg Sankey has decided that he may go 16 to 18 teams. Sounds like he's gonna add some teams. He's putting that out there, Big Sweet, that he's gonna add some teams to the Big 12. SEC. Sounds like it.
I wonder what Coach Moore would have to say about this list.
Yeah.
Oh, get off my screen. Get off my screen. I don't want you.
I know Coach Moore. Coach Moore. What would he say about this list?
Well, he would appreciate that he would appreciate that Michigan, Ohio State is a great rivalry, and he's learned the rivalry.
He gets the double dip. He gets the double dip on this thing.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right,
Oklahoma grad and everything. So like he gets the benefit of the top two on this list.
So are you guys good with Army Navy being number 4?
Honestly, I think I would put them up at number 3. I'll be perfectly honest. I think Bama and Auburn you can put down at number 4. I put Army Navy at number 3, and this is mostly because, and again, I look at this as Switzerland. I come try to be unbiased as possible here, but Army Navy's got like a different feel compared to to Alabama, Auburn, even to Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah. It's got a different feel to it.
It's the military.
Yeah.
You're honoring the military when you watch that game. What they're about to do after they're done with their football season, their football career, they take themselves and may put themselves in danger to defend the country.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Go ahead.
Go. I'm sorry. Cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
I think Washington and Oregon's too far down.
Okay.
They should be more up there before Pittsburgh, West Virginia, I say.
I'm just going to say this. Is that a big rivalry?
I think it is. I mean, especially at the very least, the last year, the Pac-12.
Okay.
Where just before Washington and Oregon joined the Big Ten along with USC and UCLA, like those two teams, they played 2 times, I think, for the regular season and for the conference crown, and they were classics.
No, you're right. You're right.
See, that's the beauty of having me around.
No, you're right.
I don't want you Michigan guys to get tunnel vision, and and the Big Ten is now the big country across the country.
Right. Yes.
Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA. So I got to bring a little bit more of that flavor to you guys. And I think Oregon, Washington is down there too low.
Yeah, I mean, when they've got to speed up the video for those Big Ten, the Big Ten video for Big Ten Network, that it's got
in the athletic.
Okay.
All right.
Washington, Oregon's number 21.
That's way too low.
Washington, Oregon is number 21. I'm just look, I don't agree with it, but it's like they have no respect for it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's number 20.
If you go on down the list, I mean, with my mindset, Arizona State is down. Florida State That should be a lot higher, shouldn't it? And Notre Dame SC should be a lot higher.
You get Florida State is down because the game haven't. I mean the Noles played well 1 year, but they haven't had a consistent winning. You know what I'm saying? So
what about Notre Dame SC? Well, SC haven't been the SC of old.
SC hasn't. Yeah, Lincoln Riley hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, that used to be a classic, big time rival.
Yeah, I mean, I when I look at like the Florida State matchup, like
right.
It seems like every year one of those teams is not the caliber with the other one. You know, like the year that Florida State got they went undefeated, they got snubbed from the college football playoff. Florida was bad,
right?
And then the year afterwards, Florida State was bad, and Florida was on the up. So like they're that weird roller coaster, almost like a double helix DNA strand kind of thing. Like they meet at some point, and then they just go in opposite directions, and you can't figure out which one's going to be good.
Well, let's jump up to Georgia and Florida.
That's the
biggest, largest cocktail party in America.
That is a huge game. That is one of the biggest games in the country.
I like where it's at, being in the top 10.
Right.
I can agree with that. I don't know if I would put it. I don't think I would put it up. You know what? I think I would put it above Washington, Oregon. But there are a lot, like I said, a lot of these top 10 they've got on the list that I'm showing on stream.
Right.
Like that one is definitely a top 10. There's no doubt in my mind.
I just don't know. Is Pittsburgh, West Virginia, that big of a rivalry?
It's a huge mountain type. I mean,
that is just pure hatred.
Yes, that is pure hatred.
Okay.
It's not as intense as it used to be because Pitt hasn't been relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I think you can kind of go in both directions there. Like both Pitt and West Virginia, when West Virginia joined the Big 12, they kind of like the luster that they had. And even when Rich Rod left, I think the luster left. Now that he comes back and I think Narduzzi is still with Pitt.
Yeah, he is.
I think
that'll be a good war. Those two coaches will get after one another.
Now, I think that rivalry can rebuild itself back up. And I like that when that matchup happens, what they call the backyard brawl, that one is going to be a good one to watch this season. Kind of like the unholy war over in Utah between the Utes and BYU.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
We got some breaking news.
We
got some breaking news.
Hit it with it, Jamie, because I don't know what you're talking about.
The sale of the what is it? The Florida Rays.
The Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays. $1.7 million.
You mean billion?
Yeah, billion. Excuse me.
$1
billion. I was just going to say, man, that's
$1.7 billion with a B.
I was going to say, man, someone got fleeced on that one. It was
has
only
been agreed in principle and is expected to be completed as soon as September.
Wow.
So just letting you know that Tampa Bay Rays have been sold.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me to a degree with that news. Obviously, with there have been talk for a long time about trying to get a new ballpark for Tampa, and obviously, right now is a bad time with the Trop without their dome.
Right,
but at the same time, when you look at the attendance, the majority of people during the season that are watching Rays baseball are fans from visiting fan bases itself. So like when the Tigers are down there are a lot of Tiger fans. When Yankee fans or when the Yankees are playing the Rays, there's a lot of pinstripes, any fan base for that matter. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, and don't hate me for this. Don't send me the HR for this. But a lot of the blue hairs that are down there, I think, for the most part, some that have retired and they take up residency in Florida, and they're like, I miss seeing my Tigers play, or I miss seeing my Twins play. I can see them play at the Trop for an extremely low price ticket.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Miz, is there anything that states the ranking of that sale? Like, what is that the fifth highest paid ever for a hockey team, or the first or eighth, or where does that rank in the midst of hockey team sales?
Baseball
or worth?
I'm not entirely sure. I'll take a look. Take a look at this.
Can you find that out? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a look at see what I can read up on in terms of how much it is, because I know it touches nothing compared to the LA Laker sale that happened earlier this year. No. But I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious now that you bring that up. Where does this stand with the sale?
Now, I've been fortunate to know some behind the scenes information on NFL things, and I guess there's a lot of teams going for a lot of money these days in the NFL, and I was just curious, as to where that would rank with hockey.
I think if it were to compare it to hockey, it's like if you sold an NHL franchise in the billions, that means that it's got to be a big market franchise itself. If it were the Tampa Bay Lightning and it sold for into the billions, at that point you're looking at wow, that must have been a very lucrative lucrative franchise, because I think the last time that there was a sale of a team in terms of ownership, it still was in the 100 mil.
Yeah,
as far as the hundreds of millions range, but nothing in terms of billion. But like I said, when Jamie said 1.7 mil, I'm like, whoa.
I know, I like, now the
who got fleeced?
The young guy that just bought the team. Where is it? Utah, out there, the young owner, the guy that
the Utah whatever they're called.
The Utah.
I don't know why, but.
The Utah what?
The Utah Mammoth, because they couldn't call it Yetis
the Mammoth. So I like to see what the number was on that sale, because that's a startup franchise, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not so much startup. They relocated the Coyotes from Arizona and Phoenix area to Utah. So it's not like a definite, a big time transition of things. It's almost kind of like with when the Quebec Nordiques moved from Quebec City to Colorado and they became the Avalanche.
Well, it's hard to keep ice in Phoenix.
No one wanted. They couldn't hold a rink. They were playing in a college arena the last couple of years.
Man, that ice melts in Phoenix, man. No matter where it is.
Give those coolers a workout.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So that's what you got. You got a $1.7 billion. They need a stadium deal. They're working on that's one of the things that the new owner is going to work on, is trying to get a new stadium in St. Pete.
That was the one thing I wasn't sure about, if they were going to stay in St. Pete, because I know that there was talk about maybe splitting time or making a complete move to Montreal to see if they can get the Expos back again. But obviously with the sale now, it sounds like they're going to stick around. And
they say he has no plans. Well, you know how that is, but they have no plans to move the team, and they're willing to contribute $700 million to the stadium in St. Pete. But the team is arguing that a delayed county vote led to a holdup in construction and therefore increased costs. So that's the problem.
That doesn't surprise me, but like I said, I think it's a little bit of an eyebrow raise for a lot of people when they hear something like that. Speaking of breaking news, Jamie, we can get to it on the other side. There has been a contract extension, a big-time contract extension.
Wide receiver.
On the NFL side of things. We can get to that on the other side of the break.
Okay. Well, let's take a break, and we come right back. We got breaking news. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050. Garrett
Clear
Wilson
on radio.
All right. I had some popcorn.
Why does Garrett Wilson get his deal done, and no? I mean, it takes pulling teeth when it's Cincinnati. Cincinnati is the worst.
Well, you know, the Bengals, Brown, the owner, he's one of the few owners in the league. Matter of fact, might be the only one that still the football team is their sole business.
Right.
You know, they don't own, so you know he has to run that team a little bit more frugally than a lot of owners because they don't have the Walmarts and the other things to fall back on. That team is his business, his family's business. So I'm not defending them. I'm just saying why it's probably that way.
Yeah, I mean they have to do everything. They have to do everything.
Yeah. Mike Brown and Katie. What's her name? Katie Blackburn.
Crazy.
What kind of deal did he get?
Got an extension.
It is a 4-year extension, 130 mil, but 90 million of it is guaranteed.
Woo.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to look at is the guarantee, and you know what he's going to get, what the wide receiver market says for the next 3 or 4 years. That's the only thing that's more important, or whatever that number is, 3-4 years, 2-3 years. That's the number that's important. The rest of it is that blue sky I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Receivers getting paid, man.
Yeah, they are.
Kurt Russell, he said he feels I was misled by the Falcons and played through injuries in the Netflix series.
Oh, Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
It's a Kurt Russell.
Did I say Kurt Russell? I'm sorry.
The actor?
No, I'm
Wow, that's a strong statement.
Well, they look. I don't know. I'm going to say this. They didn't show that they told him he had to play, but he said, I have to go out there and I may not be able to throw the ball. He said this himself. I may not be able to put that ball where it needs to be, but we'll see what I can do. So he should have gave a heads up to the Falcons saying, "Hey, I really hurt my shoulder. I need to take a couple weeks off." But he Big Sweet, you knew he doesn't want to take a couple weeks off. Right. He get Wally pipped. He can get Wally pipped. Right, Penix is a dynamic quarterback.
So now there could be a little damage control involved,
right?
Between he and his agent, because they don't want it out there that or potential workman's comp or lawsuit coming later.
Right.
You got to look at all of that, and you worry about the workman's comp. That's why, all the teams got workers' comp insurance just in case. The players try to come back at them about something or another.
All I know is you got a guaranteed $90 million and has already been paid out $100 million.
Yeah. We were born too soon, Jamie.
Right. Exactly. Jumbo says that to me all the time.
Yeah, man. We're born too soon. How far back does the college NIL deal? I mean, there's a cutoff, isn't it, like 2015 or something like that?
Yeah. It doesn't go into the. It doesn't go into the 90s. It's 2015.
Man, I want reparations.
All right, guys, we're coming back from break.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman, Missler, best guy in the business. Larry Lee is with us, Big Sweet himself.
Hey.
Miz, you had breaking news.
We head back to the NFL front of things as the New York Jets and wide receiver Garrett Wilson have agreed on a 4-year, $130 million contract extension. This comes from ESPN's Adam Schefter, the former offensive rookie of the year and the 10th overall draft pick from the, I believe it was 2022 draft, is guaranteed $90 million of it.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. That's
crazy.
That's some cheddar.
They signed him pretty early. You know what I'm saying? They went and got him signed up. Big Sweet. Yeah. I mean, what's the thinking? I mean, do they get him and secure him for the quarterback that they just brought on?
Yep, doing that, and they're locking them in early before they're assuming that the two of those guys are going to have success.
Right.
And they, unlike the Dallas Cowboys, how everyone says that, why does Jerry Jones wait until the end to sign somebody, after they deserve money and the market's gone and all that, and now he's got to pay double. They're trying to be ahead of the game and assume that he and the quarterback are going to be on the same page and do well. So they got him locked in early before they both start with their hand out again.
It's a good move. I know it's a good move. I mean, it's a great move for the Jets. They're securing their future with this wide receiver. I mean, he made Aaron Rodgers look good. I'm just saying.
Yeah. What we were talking about, I don't know if it was on the air or not, but when the contract's done, and the significant years, whatever the market is, 2 or 3 years or 4 years, whatever that market is, if the player is having success, the agent will come back to you and say, "Hey, we need to talk again."
Yeah.
Now, if the player isn't having success, the team will go to the agent and say, "Hey, we need to talk again." So
right.
They're trying to lock it in before they think the agent is going to come back to him and say, "We need to talk again."
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's all about timing. All about timing.
Well, I think it's great for that young man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Garrett Smith is going to be a great asset.
Plus, you got to look at the cap situation. Whether they have money to play with and how they played with it and where they were prior to, in order to do that. So if there was some money sitting on the table, the agents would know that. So that's when the agents call and say, "Hey, man, let's get this deal done, and let's do it now while you got some money." So that's kind of the theory. So it's all about timing, man. What have you done for me lately?
Speaking of timing, I mean, since we're talking about this, I mean, look, I'm gonna bring it out. Aiden Hutchinson. Are the Lions waiting too long? Or are they? I know he got hurt. I know he's been hurt, and they probably want to see what he looks like in game state. But the kid was. I mean, I thought he was the next Lawrence Taylor the way he played. You know what I'm saying?
The key phrase you said was thought, which is a past tense kind of scenario. So if I'm the Lions, I can't pay him yet. Right. I gotta see what he looks like coming off this injury, and see what happens, and hopefully, because I know Brad Holmes is a solid first class A1 guy. He's going to do right by the player, and hopefully, I know he wants him to succeed. So, but it's a little early to give him another paycheck after being hurt, because the other thing you got to think about when you make moves. It's the precedent it sets for upcoming guys or potential, well, you did that for so-and-so. It's just like your kids, Daddy, you did that for so-and-so. Why didn't you do that for me? So it comes back around. So you got to be, there's so many angles you got to look at, when you're in the front office, and got to consider the precedent you set. You got to consider how much money you got, how you got to consider how to spend it, where your team is physically, and where you need help. All those kind of factors is what NFL executives go to on a regular basis.
No, you're right. You're right. That's a key. And I'm gonna go back to, I watched that quarterback. I watched that quarterback show that they had on Netflix, and I got it done. And again, you had 3 good quarterbacks on there. I mean, you got one guy that says that he was misled. The guy that made all of that money is saying that he was misled in how he should handle an injury. I mean, he didn't want to go. He didn't want to come out. He admitted, I wasn't going to come out the game. I wasn't going to take myself out, but he was injured. I mean,
yeah.
Larry, it looks like to me, you hurt yourself, right?
Well, I was going to say, but why would he make a statement like that at this point? I know it depends on when that was filmed.
It was filmed. I mean, they were. It was like, well, I know how it looked like. It looked like following that game, they did an interview on him, and he said, "I did get hit kind of hard, and the pain shot up in my elbow and in my shoulder, and I just got to get myself right, But he wasn't able to make that pass anymore. You could see that his passing wasn't as sharp as it was at the beginning of the year.
So as a comparison, I'm going to go to the NBA. It's kind of like, the guard from Indiana who had the calf strain.
Yep.
Do you continue to play him, or do you set him down and then he goes ahead and tears his Achilles? Kind of same kind of mindset.
Tough guys like us. I mean, guys that need to show toughness. I mean, I'm sure you played for coaches that wanted to see toughness, so you would play. You know what I'm saying? You're going to play to show your toughness, right? I don't. But the NBA is different. They do load management now. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's taking games off. So why not do some load management? I know it's the finals, but you can't afford to let what happened happen. He snapped that thing. He snapped that thing.
Yeah, he snapped that. I'm laughing because I'm flashing back to all these old school stories I have. Right. So I'm flashing back to old school story. Don Shula, when I played for the Dolphins.
Right.
Don Shula did not want a player talking to the trainer. If he called you talking to, what are you talking to him for? What's going on? Right. And I never forget, we were playing the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and I did something during the first half, and I had kind of like a hip pointer.
Right.
So I went in at halftime to tell the trainer, look, man, I'm going to be in there Monday to see you because, I got a hip pointer right now or something in my hip. And Shula runs across the locker room. What are you talking to him for? And, about the old school coaches, one thing I think, or at least Don Shula liked, was that you were into it enough to get back with him. I said, ain't nothing wrong with me. Leave me alone. Going back across. You yelled back at him, right?
Right.
And he was like, that lets him know, okay, he's still in. But, it was funny. I just was flashing back talking about whether you should step out or not. And Don Shula hated when players had to talk to the trainers. What are you talking to him for? What are you talking? Or the trainer talking to him, he'll get on the trainers. What's going on with him? Why are you talking to him? That's that old school mentality, man, that you're talking about. And then I just had a flashback.
I can't give the name. Again, I can't give the name because it would shine an even poorer light on Bo Schembechler. But I remember one of our quarterbacks was not Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
And he took a snap. And he wasn't expecting that snap, Larry. And it broke his thumb.
Oh, wow.
But Bo just wanted him. He goes, get underneath there and get that ball. Just wanted to run the play. All he wanted was him to run the play, and he would let him. He would have let him, after he handed the ball off, would have let him go to the trainer.
Right.
Well, that player did not. He just said, I can't take this. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts too bad. Player never played another down at Michigan.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just, I mean, it's the toughness thing.
Yeah.
You got to sustain that toughness through the pain, take the ball, hand the ball off, and then he would have said, go see the trainer. But because he walked off to the trainer, never played another down.
I'll say this. Back in my day with the Dolphins, one of the toughest guys, SOBs you want to know, was one of your Michigan boys, John Giesler.
Yeah.
John Giesler was a man's man. The things he endured to play on Sunday, I just still I sit back and go, oh my God. And he had knee injury and that kind of thing. But man, that man played through that injury. And every week, he wouldn't practice during the week, but Sunday, things happened, and he ended up playing and played well every Sunday. And I'll never forget John Giesler. We still talk on occasion or something, but man, one of the toughest guys I've ever known, ever met was John Giesler.
Right. It's all about these coaches. The old school coaches were the guys that want toughness. I mean, they're looking for you. How tough are you?
Yeah.
Like I said, they and if you showed the toughness, they would honor you. Who's like that nowadays? Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's just like that. He loved that center. What's the Miz? Tell me.
Ragnar.
Ragnar. I mean, Ragnar. He was a man's man to Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell worshipped him and said, "This is the guy, grit. That's who Ragnar is."
Yeah. Well, I got another example now that I'm flashing back. Dwight Stevenson.
Yeah. There you go.
Arguably the greatest center ever to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're in Miami. I'll never forget that Monday night game, the famous Monday night game.
Right. Gets those 85 Bears.
When we beat the 85 Bears on Monday night, Dwight Stevenson had separated his right shoulder, his snapping shoulder.
Ooh.
And he wouldn't let the trainers pop it back in. And Dwight would go out there pretty much the second half and snap the ball with his left hand and played the rest of the game. And
why wouldn't he let the trainer snap it back in?
I don't know.
I'm just asking. I mean, that's a question that I'm sure everybody who's listening, everybody who's seeing us is like.
Or I could be wrong, and they did snap it back in, but it was it was tender or whatever, right. And he was snapping it. Yep. He was snapping the ball with his left hand.
Oh,
and he was right-handed. Dwight Stevenson, once again, Dwight Stevenson, arguably, but in my mind, he's the best center ever to play in the NFL. And I talk to him on a regular, and he will be a guest on our show eventually.
That's crazy. That is crazy. He just switched hands.
Yeah, I mean, he just switched hands. And
right.
He had never snapped with his left. He wasn't the left-hand guy. He was a right-hand guy.
Wow.
All pro center.
I mean, think about that. That's the ball security. That is the most important thing you have to do. Do your job, as Bill Belichick would say.
Yeah, Dwight Stevenson, man. I'm telling you, like I said, we'll have him on and let him tell the story. But I love Dwight Stevenson, and anybody that played with him or know him, he's a first class, grade A guy, man. Yeah, great guy.
I marvel at these at the toughness, but that's I mean, old school coach is Dan Campbell. That's I call an old school coach.
Yeah,
Guy that
grit.
wants to see you get out there and get down. I mean, you've heard him. Everybody knows the kneecap speech. Everybody knows that speech.
Yeah, bite the kneecaps and
right.
all that. But it's a different day and time, Jamie. You know what we endured and what these guys go like, even like training camp. We threw. I don't know if it had changed by the time you got in the league, but 6 weeks of 2-a-days.
Yeah, that didn't change.
6 weeks, 2-a-days to include 4 preseason games.
Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Just remember that. That's
Yeah.
I used to call that hell on earth.
I know.
I could count how many clouds would block the sun. It was only 3. It was only 3. I'm just telling you, it was always sunny and hot.
Yeah. Oh, that was when I keep referring to my Miami Dolphin days. That was nothing. I can't even compare nothing to training camp in Miami. 6 weeks of double days, and you're sitting in that air conditioning for till 2:00 in the afternoon. Now it's time to go practice.
Right.
You walk out of there and you go, "Oh my God!"
Exactly.
That
Miami Heat is something else. Nobody knows what the Miami Heat is unless you go down to Miami.
Yeah, man. That Miami Heat hit you, and we're out there. It's time to go to practice. You say, "How? I'm not going to survive. I'm not going to make it today."
Right.
And and Shula was old school. He never believed in taking off the pads.
Right.
We wore pads 6 days a week.
Wow.
He didn't believe in taking off the pads, man.
Did you have ice? I mean, maybe this is before you. This was before your time. Did you guys have ice buckets or ice? The things that you could get in.
It had just started around then, and and even remember in old days. Remember back in the day, if you needed water, you were out of shape.
Or you couldn't drink water unless you did something.
Yeah, if you needed water, you were out of shape.
Right. Oh my God.
That was crazy.
Dude,
I don't know how many guys they would have killed back in the day.
You think about that.
We were a lot lighter. True though, but man, the coaches, if you needed water, you were out of shape. What do you need water for?
Exactly. You don't need no water. Get away from that water. Get away from that water,
right.
Jim.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You ain't did nothing yet. You ain't get hit yet.
I'm surprised more guys didn't die during that period, man. That's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry about flashing back.
Hey, I get it.
We start talking about that heat.
That heat was something else. So here's the question of the day. Okay. What are the top 5 rivalry games in your world, in your book, on your book?
Top 5 in college football.
Top 5 in college football. Yes. If somebody says Colorado State, I'm gonna laugh at them.
Colorado.
I mean, come on. Even with Dion,
Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan.
Hey, don't you sleep on the Battle of I-94.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. I know it's a part of the Michigan MAC Cup that I do know.
Really?
Yeah, Western,
There's
Eastern,
such a thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Eastern, Western, and Central. Whoever's got the best record, they are awarded the trophy. But if everyone's got the same record, or there's a tie for a record, it stays with the previous team.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I did not know this.
Yep, the Michigan MAC Trophy.
Michigan MAC.
I'm
Mickety Mac.
Mickety Mac.
Oh, by the way, fans out there, if you wanted to know where the Michigan State rivalry game was, it's number 16
on Jamie's list.
Well, that's the Athletic.
Yeah, the Athletic.
The Athletic.
Again, I'm a poor. I can't afford getting access to the Athletic, so I couldn't.
For you Michigan fans, I think it's low. This rivalry game is low because Michigan they don't play each other anymore as much. They haven't played in a long time. Notre Dame, Michigan. It's at number 18.
Yeah. Now, coming from the OG, remember I'm the OG, representing the OGs.
Yep.
Michigan State used to whoop up on Michigan back in the day.
And you know what? I found that out. I read the article.
on a regular.
Yeah, I did. In 1950s and 1960s, it was a Michigan-Ohio State, but Michigan State and Ohio State. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I gave you.
I don't mean to bring down the Wolverines. I'm bringing some truth to some light to our environment.
It's nowadays. Now it's nowadays.
Big Sweet's just bringing truth, justice, and the true American way. That's all it is nowadays.
He's just trying to bring it the Big Big Ten way.
That's all he's doing. Hey, respectfully.
Respectfully.
So let's go to a break, and when we come back on the other side, we'll talk to you on the other side. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050. I used to love the Georgia Tech.
We're on radio.
I used to love the Georgia Tech rivalry game. It fizzled out, but you remember that game was good. They had that old-fashioned car. The Georgia Tech had that old-fashioned car.
The old jalopy or whatever it is.
I remember that, man. It was a Ford. It was that Ford T-Bird or whatever they used. Iowa State number 32. Nebraska, Colorado is 33. Minnesota, Iowa. I really don't care, but it's 34.
Wow.
Who knew TCU and Baylor had a big rivalry?
Yeah, that one, it's not really as highlighted as much, but it's up there.
Tennessee, Florida. That's a good game. That's a real good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and here's one that we forgot, but in the 70s, that game used to be, and the early 80s, Penn State.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time.
I know, miss.
But you're right. It's essentially like the battle of the Keystone State.
Right. I mean, it went from 73 to 82, Penn State were ranked in the top 20 each year. Arkansas, Texas is a good rivalry, they say. That in 19, what was it? Arkansas won. Number 1 Texas faced number 2 Arkansas in the game of the century on December 7th, 1969 in Fayetteville, and it lived up to the hype. The two schools agreed to move their game back to have a larger national platform, and the Hogs took a 14-0 lead in the fourth quarter. Texas rallied for 15 points and clinched the Southwest Conference, and they were pronounced. The president of the United States at the time, Richard Nixon, attended the game and declared Texas the national champion. That's how they got a national championship.
So, during your time at Michigan, who was the team, besides Ohio State or something, that just had your number that you hated playing just because, they I don't know. They got on your nerves, or they got things accomplished.
Iowa got on our skin. Yes, it was Iowa. Good God, they were upcomers, and they just needed. Hayden Fry wanted to get over that Michigan hump, and I remember it was number 1 versus number 2 in that game in Iowa City, and I'm going to tell you, he threw the ball right to Brad Cochran, and Brad just dropped the ball. Not as far. I mean, other things could have happened. I could have ran for a touchdown. I got the turf monster get me, and I fell. I'm just saying. But he had that ball. All we had to do was hold on to it, and we could have ran out the clock. But they went down, kicked the field goal, and won.
For me, during my time, it was Arizona. Man, we were number 2 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State was Alabama was number 1.
Right.
We found out at halftime that Alabama had lost. So this was like the 8th week of the season. If we'd have beat Arizona that day, we'd have been number 1 in the country for a while,
right?
Or at least. But man, Arizona. And if you just remember, a couple 3 years ago, UCLA was kind of on top of the world, and Arizona bumped them off again.
Yeah, I remember that.
Arizona they've been our nemesis.
That was the coach who's at Washington now, Jed. That was Jed. Remember?
Yeah,
he was Jed Fish. He was down in Arizona. And he got that team playing. Exactly.
Yeah. I was talking. Do you remember Ricky Hunley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Ricky. A lot of guys have been calling me since Louis' death, and Ricky called me the other day. We were teammates in Denver, and we were, he had to bring that up, man. You remember how we beat y'all up, Larry? Oh, shut up, Ricky. Man. Arizona had our number, man. Ricky's coaching in Arizona right now.
Oh, is he? That's awesome.
Yeah, he's on the staff. Yeah.
All righty. Coming back from break, guys. Stand by.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler. And you got Larry Lee himself, the center of attention. Here he is. He's here for us. And Big Sweetie himself.
I like that, center of attention. I gotta use that.
There you go, center of attention.
I like that.
Baby.
I love that, man. Center of attention.
I love it. Okay,
so
your top 5 in rivalries. You don't have to go in order. You can tell me your top 5, your 5 rivalries that you love.
That you love.
I'll just bring up the list on the stream.
Right, he's going to help you out. See, me's going to help you out. I don't need help. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first, Jamie.
Go ahead,
Michigan, Ohio State, all the way. Texas, Oklahoma. I'm sorry. I love Alabama, LSU. I don't know why, but I do love myself some Alabama, LSU. I'm an old school guy, too. I love Miami, Florida State, too. I still watch it. I'm gonna go with the what's that game called, Miz? Oklahoma State. What do they call it?
Bedlam.
Bedlam. I love Bedlam. Love Bedlam.
Yeah.
And then I'm not doing this because you're on Big Sweet, but I'm gonna go with USC, UCLA.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, all right, cool. All right, my 5.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go, Miz?
I'll let you go first, Big Sweet. I'm a gentleman.
Okay, thank you, brother. Age before beauty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Michigan, Ohio State. I go with that. That's one of my favorite ones to watch. The other one, I do like some Army Navy.
Yep.
I like watching Army Navy. I do like watching Notre Dame SC.
Yep.
I've always liked that one. That was that 3 right there?
Yeah, that's 3.
Okay, that's 3. The 4th one that I would go with is Washington, Oregon.
Okay.
For me, and then the 5th one obviously is UCLA, USC.
Okay.
I'm
watch. Here comes some Lulus out of the world. Go
Wow,
ahead.
Jamie. Wow, even after being off for 2 weeks, you're gonna assume that. Wow. Wow.
I know you're gonna pick like BYU, Utah or something.
I mean, I'm gonna go obviously the easy one, Michigan, Ohio State.
Right.
That's a good one. The Red River rivalry, because we can't call it a shootout nowadays.
Yep.
Texas, Oklahoma.
Yep.
And I think a lot of it, just the timing of things. That the Michigan Ohio State game, it's like the most notable game on the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
The game that happens during the Texas State Fair. Army Navy, again, I don't have a dog in the fight. But
I do. I love Army. Go Army.
I know you're a go Army beat Navy guy.
Right.
But that one, it's always fun to watch because it's like the game before you get to bowl season.
Right.
But it also has so much significance
And
on
pageantry.
the pageantry. You're exactly right. So
I love seeing all the guys in uniforms and ladies in uniforms and yeah. So I'm sorry to cut you off, Miz, but
oh
yeah,
no,
yeah.
like I said, I love that one. That number 3. I got that one at 3. This one, and I think with Texas joining the SEC, I think this one's going to get real heated real quick because they haven't done it in a long, long time. Texas and Texas A&M.
Woo.
Yeah.
There's a lot. That's some just deep hatred right there. And then number 5, I think I'm going to go with the one here in state, Michigan State. I think that one does have a lot of resonance, and I know Michigan State's on the downside, but what if I've said this for the better part of 12 years I've been here, Jamie Morris. Don't matter what the records say.
It doesn't matter.
Don't matter what the records say. It's your arch nemesis. Your in-state rival. They could be 0-6. You could be 6-0, but they're gonna come in there like their hair is on fire, and you just throw record books out the window because you're just playing like you're 0-0.
Yeah,
that's Michigan.
We got honorable mentions because I know you got one, Jamie. What's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention would be Georgia, Florida.
Largest cocktail party.
Exactly.
By yours, Big Sweet. What's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention would be, and you mentioned it earlier, Jamie, Georgia and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I used to love that game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I like that.
Pepper Rogers used to be the coach at Georgia Tech.
Alabama, Georgia. I'll take that back. Rewind. Alabama, Georgia.
That's always been a great game.
Alabama, Georgia. Yeah, that's my honorable mention.
I'm gonna go honorable mention. To kind of go with the Paul Bunyan theme. Minnesota, Wisconsin. The Battle of Paul Bunyan's axe.
You ever seen the Minnesota-Wisconsin game?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I gotta make sure.
I have seen those, Jamie, and they're not as heated as a Michigan State game or a Michigan Ohio State game.
Is that the big axe or is that the chair?
No, that's
who's got the chair with Iowa.
That's Minnesota and Iowa, and that's the $5 the $5 broken chair game.
Which, I told you.
Which, by the way, I was at my cubicle last week and just kind of going over different names of rivalry games.
Right.
Thanks to inflation over time, that $5 broken piece of junk chair that they play for is actually now worth about $106 now.
It's tariffs.
Okay.
No, that's inflation, brother. Don't need no tariffs on that. That's just inflation. That's just inflation right there.
Now, back in the day, wasn't nothing like a Nebraska, Oklahoma.
No, you're right. You're right.
That was Big 12.
Those were great games.
That was probably the second best Big 12 rivalry next to Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah, Big 8 too. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
734-998-1050. What's up, Mustafa?
Hey, Jamie, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to hear things. I'm doing yard work right now, so hopefully you're able to hear me.
Oh, yeah, we got you loud and clear, brother.
I haven't been calling you because I've been trying to find a local show that can talk Michigan sports only.
So I could kind of went out on it. Say that again.
He's been recording, hoping that we be on because he wanted to find a sports show that talked Michigan sports now.
Oh, okay.
Right, especially this guy Larry, man. Since Larry been around, man, he just kind of hijacked our show with kind of national stuff. Come on, Larry.
Hey, I gotta bring a different perspective.
Right, it's a refreshing point, though.
He's Big Ten.
Don't worry,
He's a Big Ten brother now.
He'll convert. Don't worry. We just it's gentle.
You know, if I don't talk to you for a minute, when I come back, I always give you some stuff. I don't mean it though. I'm happy, man. Come on, man.
I'm good.
All right, my 5 top rivalries. You know me. You can guess.
I know.
First and foremost, Michigan State.
Right.
At a personal level, that's me. That's Michigan State.
Yes, I know it's Michigan State.
And then, since Ohio State, they just all of a sudden decide the game don't matter anymore.
Right.
So, to them, even though the whole country is saying that's the best rivalry in sports, they say, well, it doesn't mean the whole thing a lot anymore. Okay, I give them that. So I'm going to put Army and Navy.
Yeah, Army, Navy. That's a good one. That's number 3.
Army, Navy. And I go with Notre Dame and USC.
Notre Dame, USC.
Yep.
I just go to those who just admit that the game means a lot to them. I'm going to give them credit for that. The Texas, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yep.
And then for whatever reason, they don't play every year, I guess. But every time they play, man, those primetime games, Alabama, LSU, is just high intensity games.
Those games are awesome.
Yeah.
And we got 4 now.
Yeah, that was there. You go. You got it.
And lastly, I would put again Michigan State on it. First and last. That's the game I want to win.
Of course you made that important. I know that. Somebody must be in your head, man. They just tortured you when
I'm gonna spray that area over there and get those weeds out.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, Jamie, trust me, man. Like I said, I'm gonna say it about the pivot. We are at the eve of the season again, right?
Yes.
I mean, at the dawn of the season.
Right.
If you ask me again to not make the playoffs, I'm telling you, and beat Michigan State, I take that. With all the NCAA bias coming up, I don't care. They can take away our postseason, but at the end of the day, if I can, kill Michigan State, man, I'm doing it. Cool, man. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Now, have you heard anything coming up with the NCAA bias, whatever? Have you heard anything?
Not yet, Mustafa, but I'm working on it. I've been reading some things, and it's nothing concrete. So I'm not gonna just give you an update on something that not concrete. I mean, the league. I mean, I'm sure those that know. Those that don't know, don't know.
All right. All right, man. Let's wait and see, though.
All right, Mustafa, just keep it calm. Don't let the hot kettle overflow, okay?
Deep breath.
All right, man. Good to have you around, man. I mean, I just like your text, though. Trust me, bro. I like whatever you're doing out there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. 734-998-1050. 734-998-1050. Hey, Rodney, what's up?
Not much, guys. How are you? I'm up north.
Rodney, what are you doing up north?
Watching water.
Watching water.
Hey, that's what we like to call a little vacation on the water.
Yeah, when Blake Huron's looking, I'm looking right at her right now.
So you're sitting there watching the water, having a beer in your hand, watching everything.
Nothing else you just said was incorrect.
Yeah.
So yes. So okay, I'm gonna go a little bit outside the box.
Of course you are. You want me to guess right away the first one?
You can try to guess.
I'm thinking Clemson, Georgia, as one.
that was on my list.
Yes. I'm thinking Clemson. I'm thinking Clemson, Florida State.
No, that's the only one I care about. My other two it's Michigan versus everybody else. Every game's a rivalry for everybody else. So you can just put them in line. It doesn't matter they're playing Ohio State or Indiana or Northwestern. They're all coming for you. You put that wing helmet on, you know that. So every game's a rivalry game for those people.
Yeah, that's what you try to tell the kids.
That's the system. So you can scratch, but one game I used to always like, and yeah, it was Thanksgiving weekend. You guys played Ohio State,
right?
And Oklahoma always played Nebraska.
Right.
That was like nighttime TV for me. I'd get the fireplace going, and yeah, that was a good one for me to watch. Army Navy's definitely a game I always watch, even though I had no dog in the fight, and nor did I knew, and none of those guys were ever going pro. But my other one is Alabama Auburn.
Yeah,
the
that's
Iron
a good
Bowl.
one. I love the Iron Bowl. Iron Bowl was always a good game.
I mean, it didn't matter if Auburn was terrible or if they were good.
They played. They played in that game. They gave everything they had in that game.
I'm curious how the heck that eagle flies across that stadium and that lands on that guy's arm.
It gets fed. They know that bird ain't stupid.
Like, I know the arm that feeds me. It's that
Exactly.
it's that guy right there. I know him.
He knows it. They train that bird. That's a well-trained bird.
He got some steak down there.
Exactly.
I know George T got bit in Georgia.
Oh yeah,
by Uga.
Did he bite him? I thought he missed him.
I don't know. Uga went after him though.
He did. He tried to bite him, but he did pull his leg away. George Teague pulled his leg away. Uga almost bit him, but he didn't. I gotta look at the video. I gotta go to the video now.
Speaking of weird Auburn deals. Speaking of weird Auburn deals.
Go ahead.
They're the Auburn Tigers. What's the significance of War Eagle?
War Eagle is the cry. It is the rallying cry. War Eagle.
Shouldn't it be War Tiger?
I just know it's a rallying cry.
It's an SEC thing.
Yeah,
we don't know,
and it means so much.
Yeah, it's an SEC thing.
Okay.
We don't know.
It means so much.
It makes about as much sense as nothing. I know that.
Exactly. Exactly.
If anybody's ever been down south, then nothing ever makes sense down there.
That's true. No falsehood there.
It's backwards. That's what it is.
Exactly.
I don't know why they yell War Eagle. Why do they war?
I don't get it either.
I don't know.
We played them in a bowl one time. And that damn bird was flying. He's swooping in, boy.
War Eagle, and they're the Auburn Tigers.
Yes. We got to figure that one out, miss. We got to have to figure that out.
I'm on it right now.
I mean, I don't get it, and now I want to. Now I want to know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to know. I never took the time to look it up or examine it or anything.
But because I never cared, really. I mean, yeah.
Here's a real question for you, Rodney, and so you brought up.
Answer.
Okay, where do you put Clemson, South Carolina at?
Right.
Oh, South Carolina usually stinks, but their natural rivals, Georgia. And I know Miz has looked this up before because we had a fight about this, and he didn't believe me because they used to be in the SEC conference.
Yeah, that I remember. I remember that. I remember this argument.
Who used to be in the SEC conference?
Clemson.
Clemson was in the SEC conference, really?
Yes.
Okay, I thought they always been in the. When they won the national championship back in the 80s, were they in the SEC or were they in the ACC?
In 81, they were in the SEC when they won it.
Oh wow! I did not know this. I didn't know this. That's crazy.
So back then the Clemson was in the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Association, which is when that was like when the rivalry was really heated up. And then they eventually joined the SoCon, the Southern Conference, from 1921 to 52, and then they joined the ACC at that point. But yeah, when they were part of the SIAA, that was when their rivalry with Georgia was at its peak when it started up.
Interesting.
Rodney took me to school on that one.
Okay, all right. I didn't know all of this.
You know what they should have as a class in college?
What?
Sports history.
They do have sports history. Yeah, Michigan has sports history. I know they have a class in sports history.
One Mr. Professor Greg Dooley.
Yep.
No, but I'm talking like the history of sports going way back to like the Athens days and all sorts of stuff, and then we can figure out what goes on, from like the 1900s all the way through to what we know now.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of
tell you
knowledge.
that Don Canham used to teach that class, and that was a long time ago. I was in his class, and I used to get it. He was the one that taught us about marketing and how he came up with the idea of marketing Michigan.
I can see Jamie with a wreath around his head,
Nowadays, I can just see him being escorted out on a Shea sofa eating grape like wow! Oh yes,
wow! Yes. Hail to the victor! Hail to the victor!
Mrs. Rosen, the man right now.
I haven't seen. I've seen Jamie in the office, but we haven't had a show in 2 weeks. So
we haven't had anything in 2 weeks. We knew we were going to get after.
I got arsenals. I got ammo for days right now. I'm just
jumping at the bit to come on and get this.
Chomping like Blake Corn was eating corn.
So with all the Clemson references, I assume he's a big Clemson guy.
Yes, he's a Clemson fan. He loves them Tigers. Yes.
Okay. Well, we got to have.
Why is every team down south, every other team is named the Tigers? Why are they always the Tigers? You ever think about that?
It's either tiger or bulldog.
Tiger or a dog. And not just a bulldog, but it's a dog. How about them dogs?
We got a dear friend. Oh, go ahead.
You know what I don't understand?
What?
Is why is Clemson's stadium called Death Valley?
That's right. We got 2 Death Valleys.
You got 2 Death Valleys. I don't know why they called it Death Valley. Who was named Death Valley first, Rodney?
That I don't know. I have to look up that one. I'll work on that one. But it's called Death Valley, and I don't understand why, because there's a whole bunch of girls around with cowboy boots on and short skirts.
Wow.
It looks like death to me.
Wow. I didn't expect you to say that, but okay. Thank you.
Miz, keep those questions in mind because I got a dear friend, the assistant athletic director at Clemson is a guy named Gary Wade. I don't know if you remember, but Gary used to be the Lions strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, right.
And he's the assistant AD down there. We'll get Gary on here and get him to answer some of these because I still talk to Gary on a regular. So we'll get Gary on here, man, and get him answering a lot of those Clemson questions.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Cool.
Before we go to break, I did look up why do Auburn fans say War Eagle?
Why do they?
The phrase originates from a legend involving a Civil War veteran who carried an eagle found on a battlefield and the eagle's flight during Auburn's first game against Georgia in 1892.
Okay, War Eagle.
I don't. You know what? They should shoot that bird. And
whoa! That's America right there.
And pluck it.
That's America.
That's America.
That's a bald eagle.
That's America.
That's America right there, Jamie Morris. That's a bald eagle.
It's a Civil
War.
How
dare you?
How dare you?
It's a Civil War thing.
Boo that man.
Okay? That's a Civil War thing. That's not.
Boo this man.
That is not.
I hear you, Jamie. I'm not a turncoat.
That's like. I'm gonna say that. No, I'm not even gonna say
no.
This. Y'all don't get me started.
You already.
That's like biting a Wolverine.
Exactly. Remember, we had a Wolverine and in the north end zone, he kept biting everybody, biting the handlers. So they got rid of him and gave it to the zoo. Speaking of which, I love that commercial where Eddie George and Charles, and and Eddie George is talking about the Wolverines, and he comes out with all the bandages on afterwards. And I love that. That was a great commercial. That was a great commercial. There's some great commercials. All right, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we got Philly E and Hadley. Not in that order, because Hadley's first. On the other side, you're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Clear on radio.
Do. War Eagle. That's like saying. Rebel! That's a rebel yell then. That's what that is. Right? That's pretty much a rebel yell. Yeah, that's true. You might as well, then let's call it what it is. It's a rebel yell.
Well, yeah, that's true. It is the South after all.
I get it. I'm saying. I bet you they got some kind of story about, here's the story. You heard they would yell going in to fight the Union soldiers, War Eagle, and go in and get them. yeah, you could be, yeah. I don't know, but that's what, I know that the Mississippi guys, it was Mississippi, University of Mississippi, they had a lot of their student athletes, they got killed in a stand. They dedicated their whatever to. That's why they called themselves the Rebels.
Well, I got
all the radical stuff happened down south. Well,
who's Death Valley first? LSU or Clemson, the Tigers?
Yeah, Clemson was first called Death Valley before the LSU stadium.
LSU Tigers.
Clemson Tiger, LSU Tigers.
Exactly. They should be going at it with each other. Going, War Eagle!
Go down.
The hell are you just saying?
You go down, boy.
Get up off that cigarette, boy.
If you get that cigarette, boy, you could get on that cigarette. Go. War Eagle.
Who's Wendy? Oh, sorry. Oh, God. I didn't get to sleep until 1 o'clock last night. I woke up at 5:45. I had the biggest pounding headache, and I finally took some Tylenol. Uh-oh.
Like me. I couldn't go to sleep last night, man.
What happened?
What do you mean? What happened with me?
No, what's Wendy? What did Wendy want?
I think she pocket dialed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wendy from Wendy Welch from the Humane Society. Here
okay.
So I think it was just a pocket dial.
Good. I was like, what's that lady want?
Like, why is Wendy calling? Maybe she's got her own list. I don't know.
She wanted to talk about War Eagle.
Yeah, like this. She's calling up. She's about to just size you up and down, left to right, and say, "How dare you, Jamie Moore?
Exactly.
How dare you?"
War Eagle.
They got a War Eagle chant in Auburn. They call themselves the Rebels in University of Mississippi, which makes sense. I'm gonna say.
But they don't call themselves University of Mississippi. They call themselves Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Yes.
There's countless number of Bulldogs.
Oh my God, Bulldogs and Tigers.
You got,
and what else they got? They got Gators. They got one Gator.
Yep, they got one Gator. In the South, you got Mississippi State and
they got the Seminoles.
Georgia.
They got the Seminoles.
Uh-huh.
Yep, Seminole.
Then the SEC, you got two teams that are Tigers.
You got the Iapis. What's that bird called that goes that is the first one to leave when a hurricane comes in, and the first one that comes back when the hurricane comes in.
Oh, you're talking about the ibis.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Ibis.
Yeah.
Yes. That's University of Miami.
That's exactly right. And there are multiple Aggies in college football.
Oh my God! There's so many Aggies.
But yet, Aggie is the mascot of an Aggie is different at every school.
Yes, that's true.
It doesn't make sense. Apparently, an Aggie at
you
Utah
know what
State
Aggie
is
agricultural.
Yeah, it's an agriculturalist.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's why they call them Aggies.
But yet, at New Mexico State, an Aggie is a cowboy, a ranch handler.
Yeah, that means they changed the logo because it wasn't masculine enough.
Okay, but then you got a Utah State, and an Aggie over there is a bull.
Masculine.
Okay.
Again. Do you remember? I know you, Big Sweet. Do you remember Jackie Sherrill cut off the balls of the bull?
Yep, I do remember that. Yeah.
My God, they were playing Texas. Jackie Sherrill was the coach at Texas A&M, and he made his team, Ms.
Castratable.
Castrated. They had to watch it.
Oh, they made him watch it.
Yes.
Oh,
he was trying to. What he said was he was trying to get them psyched up. I'm like, that was a disgusting thing.
Yeah, I don't know, how that gets you psyched up and pumped up for a football game, but hey, to some their own. All right, we are coming.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're coming back from break.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler. And the center of attention for us today, he's the big sweet himself, Larry Lee.
So I did some research, and did find out that Clemson's Memorial Stadium was actually referred to as Death Valley before Tiger Stadium at LSU.
How did LSU did they find the name, or did they just say, well, you ain't Death Valley, we're Death Valley. We have more upsets here. I'm just saying.
So according to ESPN and Hero Sports, Clemson's Memorial Stadium was first called Death Valley in the 40s by Presbyterian coach Lonnie McMillan. And from 44 to 51, McMillan and the Blue Hose, meaning that was their that was their nickname at the time, lost to the Tigers 8 times in a row to start the season, their season, scoring only 13 combined points in that stretch. According to Clemson Football's media guide, he compared the season opening losses played in South Carolina's September heat to the geological Death Valley in California. Meanwhile, LSU, on the other hand, reportedly didn't pick up the Death Valley name until 1959 when the Tigers defeated Clemson in the Sugar Bowl to win the national title.
Yeah.
Having defeated the team from the original Death Valley, LSU claimed their stadium's nickname as a prize. So they basically said, we beat you, we get your nickname.
Right. I mean, that movie, Everybody's All-American. Remember, it starred, good God, who's the guy? I can't think of his name. He was in Rollerball. The first Rollerball, Miz, not the one.
I don't think I've ever heard of Rollerball.
Look up Rollerball. It's the greatest. It should have been one of the greatest movies ever made. But
and that dealing with what's the skating? What's the they go around in a circle?
Roller derby.
Yeah, roller derby.
They shot a cannonball out. They would scoop it up and then score.
James Caan.
James Caan was Everybody's All-American too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's who it was. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you.
No, I had no idea. I never heard of the movie, so that just shows my age.
Philly will tell everything about it.
Yeah,
but let's start out with Hadley.
Welcome back, JMO. I'm glad you had such a great time that you were gone for 2 weeks.
Wow. Are you throwing shade, bro?
I feel like there's shade.
I feel a little shady in here, man.
Not at all, Jamie, except this past week, I turn on the show at 3:00 every day, either to hear commercials or hear whatever that Infinity show is. If I heard the Infinity show, you were still on vacation.
Wow.
But I did it every day this last week because I didn't know how long you were going to be gone.
All you had to do is follow our
That's fine.
social.
You didn't have.
Did you follow us on Twitter, bro?
I mean, if you follow social media, you would have seen that I put up there that we were going to be off for the next 2 weeks.
He did because I read them. I read them all. I knew we were going to be off too.
I mean, bleep me though.
No.
God forbid.
No, I did not. Unfortunately, I did not do that.
Give us your 5 top rivalries, Hadley.
Let me go play in traffic.
Okay. Oh, by the way, hi, Larry.
Hey, what's up, Hadley?
All right, number 5, I'm going to put in Army Navy. Number 4, I'm going to put in USC UCLA. Number 3.
Excuse me. UCLA.
You know he did that on purpose for you.
I know. That's why I meant so. UCLA, Hadley.
Okay, UCLA. Number 3 will be. Number 3, I'm going to put in Army Navy. You can't beat that for all the pageantry and it being the last game of the year, as you said before the bowl games.
Right.
Right.
Number 2. Oh man. Oh no, I'm sorry. I skipped one, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, number 4, I'll put in Army Navy. Number 3, I'll put in Bama, Auburn.
Okay.
Number 2, Michigan State.
Okay.
You notice, Jamie, how those 4 teams, they're almost just like the same, because Alabama is supposed to be the king and beat Michigan, beat Auburn all these times, and the same with Michigan. And they all
not in the 50s and 60s, Hadley, the early 60s.
No, that's true.
Okay.
But I mean, since then.
Right. You're right.
Since that time.
Yep.
And then Michigan State, number 2, and of course the game at number 1. You can't beat the game.
So, do you agree, Hadley? It's been because of the 4 years that Michigan's domination. You think that is the reason why it's number 1, or was it always the number 1 game?
No, I think I still would have put it in number 1 regardless how that last 4 years went, because it's just, Michigan dominated at first, and then Ohio State started fighting back.
And you think this is the best rivalry of all time, or you think it's the best college football rivalry?
I think it's the best college football rivalry. I'm sure there's other rivalries that are up there, but I put it in my best college one. That's definitely for sure. And then I'll give you 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
They fight for the Paul Bunyan Axe, Minnesota whiskey.
Yep.
And they used to play a lot with each other, but they haven't lately. I always loved the Colorado-Oklahoma game.
Colorado-Oklahoma game.
No,
wow.
I'm sorry. Colorado-Nebraska.
Colorado-Nebraska. Okay, well.
That's a good one, too.
That's gotten better with Prime. I'm hoping Prime's going to be able to coach this year.
They don't probably have any games scheduled, do they? Colorado and Nebraska.
Not this year.
I don't know if they've announced that rivalry coming back again, but I imagine at some point.
Yeah, maybe so.
All I know is Nebraska ain't leaving the Big Ten. They say, you stupid. We ain't leaving.
We got that good money.
We got $85 million.
We got that good media money.
Exactly.
You got to admit, Nebraska, Oklahoma used to be one heck of a.
Oh, it was a great game. Dude, come on.
It was a great game. Yeah.
Billy Sims jumping over the pack. I mean, you got I Am Hip playing.
Yeah, I Am
Hip.
Hip.
My God, they had some. Back
in my day, Jarvis, Red Wine.
Yes, exactly.
All them guys.
J.C. Watts.
JC, yeah, JC.
Isn't that the game where Nebraska or one of those 2 teams got the extra down?
That was the Colorado. That's the Colorado game. Colorado.
Yeah. That was a Missouri game.
Colorado, Missouri, right?
Yeah, it was Missouri and
Colorado.
Was it Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado won the national championship. That's why they went on to the national championship.
Yep.
And they won it because they had an extra down.
Extra down. Yep.
5th down.
Are you talking the year 97? Jamie?
No, not talking 97. 97, Michigan won the national championship.
That was 1990.
Well,
1990.
The fifth down game.
1990. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was a fifth down about Colorado or something. But so, Larry, I wanted to ask you, how did you get invited to Sharon Moore's little presser there?
You know, I asked myself the same thing at first there, Hadley, but then, I got to thinking, man, I deserve to be here. I'm Jamie's co-host, Miz, and Coach Moore is an offensive lineman, so we hit it right off. I had never met him, but I was thoroughly impressed with him, and we got a mutual friend, Coach Stoops.
Yeah,
I was assistant GM, not assistant. I was a GM in the UFL, XFL, and Stoops was one of the head coaches, and got to know him well. And Sherman loved him, thought very highly of him. So, yeah, I got invited, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, he got the word from a little birdie and a morbidly obese birdie. I'm the morbidly obese birdie.
Jamie, did Larry tell you what question he asked Sharon?
He was right next to him.
I was right next to him, Hadley.
Oh, I didn't know you were there.
Wow.
So what are you inferring there, Hadley? What are you saying here right now, buddy?
Nothing, Larry. I mean, Larry.
So what are you trying to say here, Hadley? Spit it out, man. Spit it out.
Well, I'm just saying. I knew you would bring up the West and talk about those teams that came over to the Big Ten. That's right. I knew you'd do it.
I mean,
it's all Big Ten now. We're all one big happy conference.
Exactly, Hadley. Are you not entertained with the West Coast teams of the Big Ten?
Are you not entertained?
Well, we'll see when we go out and play USC. Let's see how entertained we get.
Right. And it's all. We're all family. We are family. So we're Big Ten, and it's taking some getting used to, even on our behalf, your behalf, my behalf too, right? It's kind of weird when you talk about the Big Ten and have to say UCLA and Washington and Oregon,
right? And
it's kind of weird for us to say Big Ten, and we had to say Ohio State and Michigan. So, but it's all good for college football.
I don't know if you've been asked this, Larry, but when you first heard the reaction about those teams joining the Big Ten, what was your first reaction?
I kind of knew ahead of time. I hate to sound like I'm this insider or nothing, but Kevin Warren, who was the Big Ten commissioner at the time, and I are great friends. So I kind of knew that thing was going to come down the pike. And so when I first thought about it, I said, that's going to be so different, man, because all the years that the rivalry and playing in the Rose Bowl and all the years that meant that. But then I start thinking like a young man again and saying, times change and things change, and I better get with it. So, because of it, I'm doing a radio show with my man Miz and Jamie, and because we're all coming together as one big happy family, kumbaya. And so I'm all in. Hadley. I'm all in.
That's good to hear, Larry. Glad to have you on our side now. Now you can just root for Michigan. We'll be all set.
Until they play UCLA, then we understand.
Yeah, until they play UCLA.
You need an objective point of view, Hadley. That's what I'm trying to preach to you.
That's right,
man.
We do.
I'm going to bring the objective point of view. Doesn't mean I hate you or I disagree with you, but isn't it nice to have a West Coaster talking West Coast with you? Isn't that just beautiful?
Oh, yeah. I'll get used to it, Larry. Believe me. We'll get used to it.
Oh, you bet.
All right, Hadley.
Hadley, we gotta go.
Larry, you asked me.
Hadley, I gotta go. One last thing. Go ahead. All
right. No, I was going to say, Larry asked me a couple of weeks ago what my favorite cheesecake was, and I'll just tell him I had one that was really, really good. It was a cheese from the Cheesecake Factory, but it was a chocolate cheesecake with a ganache topping and it was just luscious with
he said luscious.
chocolate graham cracker crust.
Luscious.
But my next favorite, my favorite one is a juicy strawberry cheesecake. We'll see you.
I don't know what juicy is.
I don't know.
734-998-1050.
Hadley, this is a family show.
Yeah, we get luscious and juicy. Philly East, save us, man.
Please.
Save us.
Please.
I'll save it. Yeah.
This is a family show.
Juicy.
Juicy,
I just
juicy,
want to
and
add
luscious.
names to the Oklahoma-Nebraska list. You got, if you're talking names, you got to throw in Elvis Peacock as well.
Oh my God, yeah. Elvis Peacock was the
that's
bomb.
true. Yeah,
From
you're
the
right.
Oklahoma side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Amy, we talked about this a long time ago, but Oklahoma really took control of that series because they had the better athlete at quarterback.
They did.
And it seemed to me that Nebraska didn't seize control until they got Turner Gill. Took the lead to get Turner Gill to get control of that series. And if you want to talk West Coast, I'll talk West Coast. One of the big reasons why UCLA used to lose to USC.
Why?
I know there was players, but USC had pros playing quarterback, and UCLA had a bunch of veer option guys. Right?
Wow.
In fact, one of them played for the Eagles in the secondary, John Shara.
John Shara, yeah. I'm on a Zoom with John every week, but I did real quick. I know we gotta go. I was on a call. My dear friend Roy Foster, played at SC and Miami Dolphins and everything. He was calling me to talk about Louis Sharp, and man, we got the naming names. SC was so loaded during my 4 years at UCLA. I mean, we don't have enough time to start mentioning all the guys on one USC team. I mean, Charles White, Marcus Allen, Anthony Munoz, Ronnie Lott, Joey Browner.
Lynn Kane. Don't forget Lynn Kane.
Lynn Kane. What's his name?
Hobie Brenner's another one. There's Hobie Brenner. I mean, dude.
Hobie Brenner, Charles White. They were loaded, man. They were
younger. If you're familiar with the Miami teams of the early 2000s, which was a who's who, that's what USC was in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It was
insane.
Sir. They had.
It was insane how many they had. Everybody.
John McKay was a great recruiter, hands down.
I mean, and Jamie, I've said you all along now for the past few years. Michigan and Ohio State were done a huge disservice having to go out there and play that team as opposed to playing someone from the Southwest Conference.
No, you're right.
Texas.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
because those were all option teams. We could have beat those teams.
Right.
Alabama, we could have. You know what I mean?
That team was
low. Jeff Rutledge. I mean, come on, get the hell out.
Clay Matthews, Chip Banks. I mean, there were so many guys on that team. What's the big offensive lineman? All pro offensive line.
Anthony Munoz.
No, besides Anthony,
right?
Mosbar, but the other one that played with the Houston Oilers and there was two. They had
Clay Matthews.
Bruce Matthews. They had. They were loaded, man. They were loaded.
You guys had a Bruce too. You guys had Bruce Davis. You had. You had Munoz's buddy, Max Montoya. You had Brent Boyd. You guys had dudes too.
You're right. Ken Easley. Freeman McNeil. We were loaded, and that was a heck of a rivalry. That's why it was the #1 rivalry in the country back then.
What?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
No.
Come on, Joy. Come on.
No one stayed up. Nobody stayed up to watch it.
Everybody stayed up to watch it. That's how Hadley knows the names.
No, Hadley knows the names because he watched it on tape delay.
How you think Hadley know all them names? He was watching the games.
The Pac-10 was like the NBA. They would tape delay it all the time.
But not the SC UCLA game. It was prime time, baby. Back in the day. Ronnie Lott, Joey Brown.
Until you got Tom Ramsey when you actually had a guy that was throwing the ball.
Right. They need. Hey, they had Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman let them.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like in that era. Troy's
My
like
era, we had another one too. We had Jay Schrader.
Yeah, you had Jay Schrader.
We had Jay.
He was
Jay
more
was
of a
our
baseball player, wasn't he?
He was a baseball player.
He was, but he started. He split time with Tom Ramsey when I was there. My senior year, which they were sophomores when I was a senior, and they split time. Tom Ramsey and Jay, and Jay was the up and coming kind of younger guy, and Tom handled his business, and we had Rick Bayshore before then, and Rick.
Pretty boy Rick. Yeah,
Pretty boy Rick. Yeah, Rick was one of them pretty boys.
Rick.
Yeah.
He was from Central Casting, that dude, honestly.
Now, the one thing I can brag on, our offensive line was second to none. Max Montoya was left tackle. I was left guard. Brent Boyd was center. Louis Sharp was right guard, and Bruce Davis was right tackle. And all of us played at least 10 years in the NFL, that group. And then we had Tim Reitman at tight end. Remember Tim Reitman, Bears, 85 Bears?
He's the very first draft pick of the USFL. Pretty sure.
Boy, you on it, Hadley. You on it.
I ain't Hadley. Don't confuse me with him.
Philly
confuse me with Hadley.
Philly E.
Oh, Philly E. I'm sorry, Philly E. My bad.
Don't forget Ricky Walker. He was another NFL guy.
Don't forget Walker. Doc Walker, Freeman McNeil. We had we had Johnny Lynn. Johnny played with the Jets about 8 years. We were loaded too. Right. Jerry Robinson, Manu Tuiasosopo. We were loaded too, but SC was loaded. They were all pro team playing college.
Jerry was a 3-time All-American who was a former tight end. Good thing they moved him to defense, right?
That's so fun.
Thank God.
You guys are coming up against it. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Go Blue.
Thanks, Philly.
All right. Take care, Philly. All right.
You heard what the man said. We got to go, but we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to have it. We're going to be live tomorrow. So you've been listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Clear on the radio, and
all right,
we're getting on.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.